This is 1410 KLEM Lamar's and on 96.9 FM. It's now time for high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
The Hawks are not denied this year. Remsen St. Mary's back to the Unidome for the 6th time in 8 seasons.
High school football.
The Hawks join the upper echelon of 8-man football. They've won their 4th ever state championship.
With all the action, here's KLEM Sports Director Daniel Versteeg.
A very pleasant good evening, high school football fans, and we are back to the gridiron in 2026, week 0. We're getting things going a little bit earlier than the rest of the state tonight as the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks look to bounce back from a disappointing 2025 and rebound with a contest against Arweva. It is a pleasure to be with you once again for another high school football season here on KLEM Radio. Daniel Versteeg with you, and pleased to be joined by Remsen St. Mary's football alum and co-head boys basketball coach, Justin Rudin. It's great to be with you once again, Justin. And, of course, you know, the kind of the elephant in the room with the Hawks from last year. They went 3-5. It was one of the worst seasons in quite a while. But the opportunities are there to bounce back and hopefully have a much better 2026.
Yeah, and like I think you can recognize that just about everybody that played last year is back on this field, minus one senior that we lost last year with Elijah Schrader. But so, you know, that's a little bit more experience, and to get them to the junior year, I think they went through those growing pains. It was a young class, a young core that was leading the team. And I think now, and I believe the coaches will say the same, that those youth inexperiences, those excuses, they're gone. And I think it's time to get back into that little winning formula. And what a better way to start it on week 0.
Yeah, you get a little bit going a little bit earlier, and we're going to chat with Tim Osterman, the head coach of the Hawks, in our pregame show. And he mentioned, you know, maybe for some schools, playing in week 0, losing that week of camp, so to speak, would really kind of hurt them and throw off their routine. But as we know, Remsen St. Mary's has been good in baseball, so the baseball season has extended as long as possible.
Yep.
You get dead week, and then you basically go right into it anyway. It's almost like a regular season.
Yep, and I would say that's probably another good thing about having so many returning starters is that stuff at camp, you know, you don't have to just learn everything new. A lot of them know it. They're getting right into it, so then we can get ready to play a little faster. Well,
it should be a great matchup. Arweva is the opponent. This is a team that went to the playoffs last year. Their 2nd straight season of going to the playoffs. They finished with a winning record of 5-4. But as Coach Osterman's going to mention in our pregame show, Justin, Arweva's kind of in a similar spot to where the Hawks were last year.
Yep.
You lose that big graduating class of seniors from 2024 that won the state title. You have to regroup. Arweva went to the playoffs. They were led by Wyatt Regaler, who was one of the better carriers of the football last year. He was their entire offense. He's graduated. So now this is a Rocket team that's going to be trying to figure out their identity with some new pieces.
Yep, and then like the Hawks found out last year too, depth. You know, when you lose those big classes, especially in a small school like that, and when you lose so many seniors, your depth becomes a problem. And you know, we had a couple games last year. We had a forfeit because of the numbers and injuries. Well, we get a little bit more depth this year. You can see Arweva's kind of going through that a little bit too, but still, you know they're going to be coming ready to play, so we got to be coming ourselves here.
And it's disappointing, too. Arweva, I heard, lost a senior in practice earlier this week, so they are already down 1. Hopefully he can come back at some point later on in the year, but certainly someone they'll be missing up front for them in Santos Gonzalez. But the Hawks, as you mentioned already, they're bringing back a lot of talent. Dalton Klein at quarterback and Titan Waldschmidt running the football. Bo Johnson catching the football. A lot of guys on the line, Ty Chappells, Lucas Sheehan. So, like you said, all the snaps they got last year, Coach Osterman's going to mention this in our chat too, it's going to pay dividends here this year.
Yep, and you kind of always we talk amongst coaches. We see like guys that start to like break out during football, and it kind of translates to the rest of their season or rest of their high school career. And I've said a couple names there. We all know about Dalton, whatever sport it is. One that we kind of talked about, you said, with Titan Waldschmidt. He got injured the first game last season with collarbone, so he's back. I think he's one that's kind of watch out for, a guy kind of taking the next step on all of his game.
Well, we know there have been a number of Waldschmidts that have run the football and handled the football very well.
Yeah, one's sitting right by us here.
We got Landon next door, so we got to give him a little bit of a hard time.
Don't let it get to his head.
No, of course. It's going to blow out of this press box if we're not careful. Going to be a great matchup, Remsen St. Mary's, Arweva. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We had a great chat with Tim Osterman, the head coach of the Hawks. You might have heard that already on our preview that we aired yesterday. but we're going to play that for you here again today. So it's Remsen St. Mary's Arweva, week 0 of the high school football season. It's great to be back. Kickoffs around the corner as well. Stay tuned. More coverage from Remsen after this here on KLEM.
Floyd Valley Healthcare and Floyd Valley Clinics in Remsen, Lamars, and Marcus. Your community, your health, your life. Happy to support Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. When it comes to service, your Lamar's Hy-Vee is #1 for shopping both in-store and online. Save with the Fuel Saver Plus Perks Rewards program at Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
Remsen Farmers Co-op is proud to support Remsen St. Mary's Athletics. Just like on the field, hard work, teamwork, and dedication, all are values we believe in every day. Good luck this season from all of us at RFC.
At Bavarian Meadows Assisted Living in Remsen, we're living our best life and cheering on the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Bavarian Meadows, proud supporters of Hawk sports. Go Hawks!
With Westel Systems, you'll always have the perfect plan to fit your lifestyle. With various speeds and data usage, they offer the fastest plans for all your smartphones, tablets, and multiple streaming devices. Call the Remsen office today to find out which plan fits you best, because not everyone understands your internet needs the way Westel Systems does.
Remsen St. Mary's Athletics are in action, and Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance are proud to support St. Mary's all season long. From every play to every cheer, they're behind the team every step of the way. Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance, we have you covered.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
Welcome back to our pregame coverage and our preseason coverage of Remsen St. Mary's football here on KLEM Radio. Daniel Versteg with you, and we are chatting with the Hawks. That's Tim Osterman and the head coach of the Hawks, of course, as his team gets ready to play a week 0 game coming up. But, boy, a couple of weeks of practices here have come and gone here early in the season. Coach, kind of a new situation for you playing this week 0 game, and I know in chatting with a couple of coaches that have done this before, it's quite an adjustment to go straight from dead week into your first practice on Monday. How have the guys adapted to this different kind of challenge?
Yeah, first of all, thanks to you, Daniel, for having us on. I really appreciate that. Of course, Clem, airing the game for our fans. I think that's really cool that you guys would do that for us. And more importantly, to get to your question, I think, we've kind of lived in this world, a similar world, not quite the scenario we're in. I mean, our baseball team has been to state a lot, so we've always kind of pressed this dead week, and then we get right into camp. And so that's usually what teams do, but we don't do anything all summer. Like, we lift or whatnot, but we don't do any, camps or, on-field work at all in these scenarios. So, for us to go right into camp and then 2 weeks of practice is pretty typical, pretty normal. So, yes, to get to your point, yes, I think it was an adjustment. We tried to think about doing a camp before dead week. Baseball team made state again. And so and then the girls made state in softball. So it was definitely something that it's frustrating that we didn't have those, 3 days of kind of just, we're just working on fundamentals, just work on install, and then we can get into real practice when we need to. We just had to jump right into real practice. But I think it does limit some of the length of getting into practice or getting into game week. And so it's been kind of nice, actually, that it's just 2 weeks and here we go. We're right into game week. So that's probably the one mental benefit is, we don't have as many days of just beating up on each other. And, yeah, I guess we'll just have to kind of go from there. But in terms of our players, I think they've dealt with being in state for baseball, having dead week, and then going into it, and we've had to deal with a few vacations that people had planned for that camp week or whatever, so we just had to adjust. And it is what it is. We can't control those things. We just have to do what we need to do, and then we go from there.
If I can touch back on last year a little bit, obviously not the season that you wanted to have, certainly not in the way you wanted it to have. But how has your experiences and your players' experiences from last year maybe upped the intensity or upped the the effort and the work you guys have put in here the last couple of weeks, so that you do get back to some of the things this program's been used to doing over the last 10 years?
Yeah, and I think that's a fair question. And I think it's a well-rounded question. I like that. And I'm not going to go look at last year and like blame anybody for what happened. The way the ball bounced, the way the players got injured, or just being young in general, and then starting off with a state semifinalist team in Audubon and a district champion in GTRA, and then a playoff team that had seniors on their team. We didn't get to play the fourth game because of injuries, and we decided to forfeit that game. Regardless, now we're in a situation. Do we dwell on that, or do we just kind of move forward and try to learn from those scenarios? And so I'm not going to blame the kids. They didn't do anything wrong. And I'm not going to blame the coaches because I don't think that necessarily they could have done anything differently to prevent what was going to happen. So, we're not going to dwell on what that is. However, when we look at last season, it was really a tale of two different seasons. So we have those first 2.5 games, have to leave the St. Ed's game early, and then you don't play the Kingsley game. And then we come right back in and we play Harrisley Park, which is a team a little bit more in our wheelhouse in terms of the numbers, in terms of the types of kids that they had, so on and so forth. And we played really, really well. They had some injuries. I think that helped us out a lot. But, we played that game really well. We played the Newell Fonda game really well, and we just lost that one at the end, and that was devastating for us. We can learn a lot from that one. And then the Siouxland Christian game, obviously they had to forfeit, and so we get another week off, and then we go play North Iowa, and we play our best game that we played all year. And that's really what you want to see, is that we're going from, boy, we don't look like a varsity football team, to, oh, we're competing with another varsity football team really well and playing a little bit more to our standards. And that's just the players getting used to it. That's players playing players that are a little bit more within their wheelhouse. And then to answer the part of the question about how did they respond, well, what was really fun for me in preparing for this year was that the players that had played all those snaps last year and gone through all those scenarios of getting pushed around and everything like that, there's so many things that they just inherently just do now that we taught last year, like how they run the ball, like how they hand the ball off to the ref, how they block, how they get off the block, how they communicate, all those things. And then defensively, we've done a little bit of a change, but a lot of that stuff's still the same. But regardless, they played all those snaps, and so they have all this experience. And so now, yes, I think the intensity, I think the focus has been really good for our players. I thought the leadership in all of our juniors and seniors have been really, really positive going throughout. And so I think, and again, not to make any proclamation, but I know we're ahead of where we were last year. Now, what that translates to in the first few games, I can't guarantee those things, but I know that we're playing at a really high level. I know we're relatively healthy. I know that we're clicking a little bit better than we were at the beginning of last year. So, I think all that experience, and I've talked to myself several different times along the way, just thinking about, I think I lull myself into a false sense of security sometimes when you just have these big groups coming through all the time and you think you know what you're doing, until you get into a situation where you have a bunch of youth like we did last year, and you have to just coach and coach and coach and coach and coach, that then you realize now that group's juniors and seniors, that, oh, yeah, now they know what they're doing. This is what it's supposed to feel like. And so now, I think now in terms of my coaching journey, I can appreciate those older teams that we had and then what it takes to build a group from the bottom up with the intentionality. So, yeah, I think they've done a great job. I'm really excited to see what happens on Friday.
Tim Osterman, head coach of Remsen St. Mary's football, joining us. You talked about kind of another thing I was going to talk about, that youth that you had last year. Now your sophomores are juniors, freshmen are sophomores, juniors are seniors, etc. Besides some of those basics and those little things that you're talking about on the offensive side, how you hand the ball off, where to go, things like that, once you get past that, what looks better offensively? Are things more crisp beyond some of those little things here in the preseason?
Yeah, you would. And again, because we don't do running routes or any sort of agilities necessarily in summer football related, we have to really press into camp, which we didn't get, or into preseason, all those fundamentals. And so we don't really look the way it probably should look until week 3 or 4, just because it takes that long for our guys to probably get the fundamentals, put enough things on tape, and see, okay, well, I need to do it this way. So now the caveat to that is this year, I feel like, and I'll take the offensive line and the tight ends as a really good example of this in terms of their blocking. All of the steps look very crisp. They're immediate. They're fast. They're off the ball together, right? That kind of stuff, which was not what was happening last year, right? In the early parts of the year, we had guys firing at different spots. The pad levels were all over the place, and then we didn't know the assignments as well as we needed to. Then once we got towards the end of the year, then all that stuff cleared up because, again, we spent so much time with it. I think the routes are a lot better. I think Dalton and Jays know where to throw the ball when they need to throw the ball. I think Ryan's done a good job of teaching them in terms of where they need to go and when to go. And so all the routes are a little bit crisper. I think the handoffs are crisper. I think, when we talk about Titan, Waldschmidt, in terms of how he runs the ball, I thought he's done a really good job here in preseason in terms of just the feel of when the hole is going to open up and when do you burst and all those things. And again, no proclamations, but he's looked good in the preseason. And then there's some younger guys that are still learning all these things, and so I have to remember that, and we have to be teaching them very intentionally about how to get there. But at least they've got somebody in front of them now that's showing them this is what it's supposed to look like. And so, yeah, I think everything in terms of just the overall picture offensively looks very crisp. In terms of our intentionality on defense, I think the steps to get to the tackle are always good. I think we're squaring up things a little bit better in scrimmage situations. And we're attacking the ball a little bit better in the air more than we did last year. We have to translate that. We have to cause turnovers this year. We have to get off the field on third down. And so those are things that we're going to have to tweak all throughout these non-district games just to see if we can get off the field, get a few more turnovers, be intentional about tackling correctly, and making other teams snap the ball again and again and again and hope they make a mistake. But all those things look a lot better now, but we really won't know who we are until that second, third, fourth game when all those things have been put together and we have a good plan, a good vision for where we're at, and we're all buying in.
It's a great preview of where you guys are at right now, and I do want to talk about your opponent, although it's kind of a moot point considering they're in the same boat that you are, but you've scrimmaged them before and things like that. But before I do, you mentioned, by the time you get to your second, third, fourth game, that might be kind of where you guys hit your stride. Unfortunately, due to your schedule and just kind of the situation that last year was, you won't be playing much in Remsen after your third game of the season. You'll be on the road the rest of the year. I know you always take things 1 week at a time, and it's why you're so successful year in and year out. But have you touched on the fact that you got to enjoy your home games while you have them, because by the time you get to the third game, you're done playing in front of your home crowd?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different ways to look at it, and I appreciate that you remember the 1-0 tactic. And I think, again, whether our kids actually buy into that or not, I'm not sure. But, we just take it 1 week at a time. And in reality, I'm not going to overthink the schedule itself. We're going to play the games we're supposed to play. We're going to go on the road when we're supposed to go, and we're going to go out there with a 1-0 mentality. That's it. I can't control that. Now, the bigger picture in terms of, talking from somebody who's in the community or whatnot, yeah, that stinks. And so, you wish that you would have had, at least the gumption to try to go play the Kingsley game so that at least you could have that home game. But then Sioux and Christian cancels 2 seasons of football, so we missed that home game. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think it probably can eat at people, like, why is there not more home games, and people don't quite understand, like, did the state make a mistake? Why are we on the road? It's like, so you have to go explain that 10,000 different times, and it's an over-exaggeration. But, I know people aren't a big fan of Nebraska around here, and so I'll keep it short. But Matt Rule's done a good job of trying to deflect his schedule, and I know Kirk Ferentz always does a good job. It's just like we're just going to play the schedule, and we're going to be who we're going to be. We're going to tackle well, we're going to block well, and whatever happens, happens. And so go out there, try to win your 1 rep, and go from there. And in terms of enjoying your home games, senior night's already going to be, this Friday, just because the way it has to work out. And then homecoming, week 2 of the season, which is, that's a little bit out of bounds to have such a thing, but it's just the way the schedule works out. So, it'd be interesting to see if there are any other teams out in the state that, when things work out, if anybody's open week 7 that they would want to play. So we'll try to keep that somewhat open and have a mentality of maybe go playing somebody, or if they'd be willing to come here, that'd be really ideal. But again, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I'm not going to overthink it. I don't want our kids to overthink it. And, our seniors will get their due when it comes time, and we're again really excited to play out the schedule and see where we fit.
Well, thankfully, yeah, you do open the season at home. Arweva, the opponent, just very broad, basic kind of look at things. You did scrimmage them last year, so you at least have a little bit of something to go off of. But what are some of the things that you, as a coaching staff, you as a player base, are looking at heading into that game? Whether it's what Arweva does or what you guys need to do to be successful.
Right. In the bigger picture, I shouldn't say the bigger picture, but in the long-range view, I actually went back and went through all the results of St. Mary's football, and Arweva was 1 or 2 in all time of teams that we've played. So we've seen them a lot since, 1999 was the JV season. The first 2000 season was, I think, maybe the first years that we saw Arweva. It doesn't matter. But we've seen them a lot, and I was going through it with myself. It's like I've seen them since 2000 and remember when it was probably 16 was the first time I really saw them. So it's been 10 years, and a lot of who they are has not changed. Their base defense hasn't changed. A little bit of their offense, depending on who they are, has changed. And so you kind of get a familiarity with them and between us. And I know their coach, Austin Stalk. He's a really good guy. Really excited to get to see him and shake his hand because he always coaches his team really, really well. And in terms of who they were, they're kind of in the same boat a little bit this year as we were last year. They were really senior heavy, and then they had a bunch of younger guys, and so they lost probably one of the better players I've ever seen play. And I'm going to forget. I'm going to forget the player's name, and that's unfortunate. He's number 8, but he's just fantastic. I mean, they tossed him the ball just on an easy little toss play, and he could go 60 or 70 yards just whenever he wanted to, it felt like. And so he obviously makes the rest of the engine go when you have to focus so much on one player. And so this year, obviously, Arweva always has really good athletes. We've tried to scout a little bit of their second group and who we think will be in what spot. And, of course, the guy that they'll have at quarterback is going to be, really good athlete. And he'll be difficult to deal with. And they'll always have a running back. And their offensive line is just going to do what they need to do. And then they let their skill guys do what they do best, and they go out and make plays, and they make you tackle in space, and you go figure it out from there. So again, you're always searching for the right answer and what the best process is going into a week 0 game where you have absolutely no film on them outside of what they did last year, and so they might be completely different than they were last year. So you kind of have to go through all those things and just say, hey, at some point, we're not going to know what's going on. This is the best picture we've got right now, and then you go out. And again, there's only so many ways you can line up an 8-player, but there's going to be mistakes, there's going to be missed tackles, there's going to be a misalignment. Okay, let's not lose our marbles. Let's just line up, reline up, and just figure out how we're going to do it, and then go from there. And then again, at the end of the game, hopefully we're 1-0 at that point, but we're going to have to be concerned with the win and loss. We're just going to be concerned about the process of preparing for the week, going through the game, winning our reps, and then whatever the scoreboard looks like at the end, that's what the scoreboard is. And so then we live with those results and we move on.
Well, it should be a great game, and certainly a great way to open the football season in our listening area. Remsen St. Mary's and Arweva. Looking forward to it, Coach. We appreciate your time, and best of luck this week and this season.
All right, thanks, Daniel. Thanks to Clem again, and go Hawks.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim Osterman, head coach of Remsen St. Mary's football. Stay tuned. More previews coming your way here on KLEM.
Mackin Insurance is a proud supporter of the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Mackin Insurance works hard for you, protecting what matters most with coverage you can count on. From home and auto to farm and business, trust the hometown team at Mackin Insurance. Great friends, good food, and good times await at the Triangle in Remsen. Proud supporters of Remsen St. Mary's Hawks Athletics. The Triangle, where Hawk pride runs deep. Orange Lawn Care does it all. Mowing, spraying, landscaping, irrigation, even snow removal. Call Reggie at 540-4867. Proudly supporting the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Go Hawks!
Get Branded 360 is proud to support our area athletes today and every day. Show your team pride with custom athletic apparel, spirit wear, and personalized gear from Get Branded 360 downtown Lamar's. And be sure to like them on Facebook to keep up on exciting specials and new items.
At American Bank, community is at our core, and that starts with our schools. From classrooms to athletic fields, we're proud to support the students, teachers, and families who shape our communities. Because when schools succeed, communities thrive. At American Bank, we're committed to strengthening our communities, investing in education today to build a stronger tomorrow. American Bank, Lamar's and Remsen, achieving success together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
And we welcome you back to Remsen, the Remsen St. Mary's football field, as the high school football season officially kicks off tonight with a Week 0 contest between the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks and the Rockets of our WEVA. Daniel Versteg, Justin Rudin, it's a pleasure to be with you here on KLEM Radio. If you'd like to watch this game with our commentary as well, we have that option available for you as well. You can find that on the KLEM Radio YouTube channel just by searching for KLEM Radio on YouTube. We're just about ready for kickoff in this one, but we're going to step aside. We have the national anthem coming up, and then high school football is back when we return to Remsen. Stay tuned. More coverage of the Hawks and the Rockets Week 0 football game coming up in a moment here on KLEM.
Floyd Valley Healthcare and Floyd Valley Clinics in Remsen, Lamar's, and Marcus. Your community, your health, your life. Happy to support Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. When it comes to service, your Lamar's Hy-Vee is #1 for shopping both in-store and online. Save with the Fuel Saver Plus Perks Rewards program at Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
Remsen Farmers Co-op is proud to support Remsen St. Mary's Athletics. Just like on the field, hard work, teamwork, and dedication, all are values we believe in every day. Good luck this season from all of us at RFC.
At Bavarian Meadows Assisted Living in Remsen, we're living our best life and cheering on the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Bavarian Meadows, proud supporters of Hawk sports. Go Hawks!
With Westel Systems, you'll always have the perfect plan to fit your lifestyle. With various speeds and data usage, they offer the fastest plans for all your smartphones, tablets, and multiple streaming devices. Call the Remsen office today to find out which plan fits you best, because not everyone understands your internet needs the way Westel Systems does.
Remsen St. Mary's Athletics are in action, and Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance are proud to support St. Mary's all season long. From every play to every cheer, they're behind the team every step of the way. Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance, we have you covered. Mackin Insurance is a proud supporter of the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Mackin Insurance works hard for you, protecting what matters most with coverage you can count on. From home and auto to farm and business, trust the hometown team at Mackin Insurance. Great friends, good food, and good times await at the Triangle in Remsen. Proud supporters of Remsen St. Mary's Hawks Athletics. The Triangle, where Hawk pride runs deep. Orange Lawn Care does it all. Mowing, spraying, landscaping, irrigation, even snow removal. Call Reggie at 540-4867. Proudly supporting the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Go Hawks!
Get Branded 360 is proud to support our area athletes today and every day. Show your team pride with custom athletic apparel, spirit wear, and personalized gear from Get Branded 360 downtown Lamar's. And be sure to like them on Facebook to keep up on exciting specials and new items.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
And it's great to be with you once again here from Remsen as the Class 8-player high school football season gets underway. Week 0, a start of the season a little bit earlier than we initially anticipated. It is Remsen St. Mary's against our WEVA playing a replacement game. And so the reason this game is being played is, of course, Siouxland Christian had to cancel their 2026 football season, so the Hawks are missing a game late in the season. They were able to replace it here in Week 0. And our WEVA's district district, Class 8 player District 9, in a similar situation. Exira, Elkhorn, Kimballton had to cancel their football season, and so this game replaces that one for the Rockets. It worked out also perfectly because this is the originally scheduled scrimmage that these two teams were going to play. They scrimmaged to begin the season last year, and of course they've historically been in similar districts in years past, so these two teams are relatively familiar with each other, and it should be a great matchup from that standpoint. Well, the coin toss has taken place near midfield. Arweva won the toss, elected to defer their choice to the second half, so Remsen St. Mary's is going to retrieve the football first, and we're going to see how that offense has improved from 2025 to 2026. Of course, we talked about it, Justin, the growth that this group had to make. They're certainly looking to see the fruits of that here in the first drive.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like I said, new season, and like your talk with Coach Osterman, whatever happened last year happened, and hopefully we learned some things along the way, and now we get ready to go. And nothing like starting off getting Friday night lights going again here. So it's an awesome feeling.
It's a great feeling. And, well, unfortunately for the Hawks, just the situation of it, this is one of just 3 home games they'll play. And they're all Fridays right in a row here. So next week and then the week after that. And then the home schedule's done. So if you're a St. Mary's football fan, couldn't make it tonight, you got to come out the next 2 weeks. Homecoming is 2 weeks from now. So make sure you can get out here and support the Hawks and the upcoming football season. So we are just about ready to get this one underway as Arweva will be kicking off left to right as we view it. Grant Wilkin will be the one to tee this off and kick the football away. Remsen St. Mary's will send back Bo Johnson to retrieve this one. He's also flanked by Dayton Knipe as well as Titan Waldschmidt. So here we go. We'll be ready to go. As Remsen St. Mary's get set to take on Arweva. We're holding up the game just for a moment as the Rocket coaching staff, I think, needs to get into place.
We got some first game stuff, we got to figure out here. So
of course. Oh, yeah, we also need a down marker. Yep, that's important. Yeah. Hey, it's first game for everybody.
Week 0, right?
Week 0, right? Yeah, we're working out all the kinks, and so we are getting things figured out on the fly, but not too shabby. Worth noting the next couple of games for Remsen St. Mary's. They are against Audubon, a team who went to the Unidome last year. The Wheelers look to be just as good this year. That's next week. And then the district champion in Class 8 player District 1 will come to Remsen for homecoming. That's GTRA. That'll be a tough matchup, too. So we'll see if Remsen St. Mary's can get through these first few games, and then, of course, they'll be road warriors for the majority of the season. So just to add a little bit more adversity to this upcoming season.
I was just going to say that. I said if Coach Osterman wanted to really test these guys, he's testing them. You get some tough competition right away, and then let's go on the road.
Well, and then Coach Osterman mentioned it, too. I think I loved what he said. He said, I can't control the schedule. You just kind of have to play it, and the situation is what the situation is. Our guys have to kind of deal with it. So they're ready to go. First game of the new high school football season, moments away from being kicked off. We're glad you're with us alongside Justin Rudin, Daniel Versteg. You're watching and listening to high school football here on KLEM Lamar's. Grant Wilkin tees it up from his own 30-yard line. He sends a high right-footed spiraling kick toward the far sideline, fielded at the 19 by Dayton Knipe. Runs it from the right sideline to the near sideline. 25, tried to break out of a tackle at the 26, and is brought down by Jack Musfeld. And Remsen St. Mary's will start this drive from their own 26-yard line.
Here we go. We got to see little Dalton Klein and the Hawks. I mean, he's probably the name that's most well-known when you talk about St. Mary's. See him get going here.
Yeah, this will be a good field position right out of the get-go. Hawks spotted at their own 26-yard line. And, again, if you're relatively new to 8-player football, a 40-yard field, so the 40-yard line is midfield. So 26-yard line, pretty decent field position right out of the get-go. Klein lines up in the shotgun with Waldschmidt to his left. He takes the snap, and he gives to Waldschmidt. Sweep it off the right side. He carries up the seam across midfield, 35-30. There he goes to the 20. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Remsen St. Mary's. And on the first play from scrimmage of the new season, Titan Waldschmidt breaks it off. A 54-yard touchdown run. Hawks up 6-0 early.
Yeah, and I kind of told you before, we're talking a little bit before, but Titan being one of those guys, didn't play last year out first game because of a collarbone injury. I think he's due for a big year. Off to a heck of a start right away.
Well, you can't have a big year without a big first play. Hawks will line up to go for 2. And so this is Dalton Klein by himself in the gun, couple of wings on either side. They're going to sweep it to Waldschmidt, trying to get to 2, and he gets vertical, gets across the goal line. The 2-point try is good. The Hawks are off and rolling. First play from scrimmage, 8 points on the board, 11:45 to play in the first quarter, 8-0 St. Mary's. We're back with more high school football in just a moment here on KLEM.
At American Bank, community is at our core, and that starts with our schools. From classrooms to athletic fields, we're proud to support the students, teachers, and families who shape our communities. Because when schools succeed, communities thrive. At American Bank, we're committed to strengthening our communities, investing in education today to build a stronger tomorrow. American Bank, Lamar's and Remsen, achieving success together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Floyd Valley Healthcare and Floyd Valley Clinics in Remsen, Lamar's, and Marcus. Your community, your health, your life. Happy to support Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. When it comes to service, your Lamar's Hy-Vee is number one for shopping both in-store and online. Save with the Fuel Saver Plus Perks Rewards program at Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
And we welcome you back to Remsen, the site of this Week 0 matchup in Class 8 player, alongside Justin Rudin, Daniel Versteg with you. 54-yard touchdown run from Titan Waldschmidt on the first play from scrimmage this season. And Remsen St. Mary's off and rolling early against Arweva, 8-0 advantage. Dalton Klein will be kicking this one off for Remsen St. Mary's. And now the Hawk defense will get to flex its muscles just a little bit. From right to left as we view it, Dalton Klein approaches and sends a right-footed high end-over-end kick. This sails over the returners and bounces into the end zone for a touchback. And so Arweva will get the football from their own 15-yard line. Well, how about that start for the Hawks, Justin? You can put away a bad season pretty quickly with a good start like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that was really noticeable is, last year we kind of ran into trouble. I don't think we were out physical or size a team in our offensive line that time. 2 carries, and Titan wasn't really touched the whole time. So that was a good start for them and a good little push up front.
So Arweva lines up with Grant Wilkin. He'll be their quarterback in this contest this evening. Lines up in the gun with a back to his left. Couple of tight ends on the left side of the formation as well. Hawks line up 5 across the line of scrimmage. They pass it out the left side. This is Quintanilla around the left side, and he is stopped for a loss. He's back to the 11-yard line, 4-yard loss on the swing pass. It'll be 2nd and 14.
Yeah, seeing a little bit of that push and physicality up front too, kind of hurrying, and then Bo Johnson with a great tackle there.
And Bo Johnson on the outside, he's going to be a key contributor in the secondary for the Hawks this year. Looking forward to seeing what he can do from a defensive standpoint. And now Arweva finds themselves way behind the chains early. It is 8-0 Remsen St. Mary's in the early going, and 2nd down and 14 for the Rockets. They line up in the same formation. Wilkin in the gun, Quintanilla to his left. And Wilkin takes the bell-high snap, a play-action fake, passes left side. That is caught and dropped. It is out of the hands of the target on the left side, looking for Rieselman. It was forced out there by Dayton Knipe. The incompletion makes it 3rd and 14.
Yeah, good read by Dayton. Got the helmet on the ball, kind of made sure he didn't come down with it there.
Good pursuit right out of the get-go, too. A lot of short routes, and I think that's understandable for a Rocket team trying to figure out what they want to do.
And you talked about they had an injury to a senior, and I think it was one of their bigger offensive linemen.
Yep.
You can kind of see that coming into play already here.
Yeah, they're missing Santos Gonzalez. They only had 2 seniors on this roster heading into this season, and he got hurt earlier this week in practice, and so that has hamstrung the offensive line just a bit. And with 10:57 to go in the first quarter, the Rockets find themselves staring down 3rd and 14 from their own 11-yard line. Out of the shotgun, Wilkin, empty backfield, 2 tight ends along the right side. He takes the snap, drops back 3 to throw, passes left numbers. That is caught at the 15 and driven out of bounds by Knipe. On the completed pass, there's Rieselman again at the 16. 5-yard gain, but it'll still be a tough situation with 4th and 9.
Yep. Smart way to play a 3rd down and long there. You just don't get beat deep and to make sure you keep them in front of you.
And so Arweva is lining up in a punting situation, and one that they are going to have to try and pin the Hawks back deep, see what kind of a kicking game they're going to have this year. It'll be Grant Wilkin Jaden Quintanilla will be the punter, and these are all new specialists for Arweva this year too. So that kind of a situation as well as the Rockets try to find something that can work from a field position standpoint.
This is a guy to watch, too, if he gets his hands on it. Jaden Gallus, he's a speedster.
Yeah, they send it toward the near side. This bounces at midfield, rolls, takes a Arriva bounce. It's picked up at the 33. Gallus now runs it up the left sideline, sheds a tackle, but steps out of bounds at the 40 and goes out of bounds in Arriva territory at the 39-yard line. No, not a whole lot of space to work with. Gallus does make a little something happen. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hawks.
Young freshman, and I'm sure coach will probably want him to either make a decision a little bit sooner coming games, but that's always good to learn on the fly here.
10:42 to go in the first quarter. 8-0. Remsen St. Mary's on top early, and now they're going to start in enemy territory at the Arriva 39-yard line. The first play of scrimmage on the last drive ended in 6 points. Dalton Klein lines up in the gun here for this one. He takes the shoulder-high snap. Quick drop. Lobs a pop pass over the middle. It's caught. Up the left seam, Moaning. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Remsen St. Mary's. 2 plays, 2 touchdowns for the Hawks. This one a 39-yard lob pass to Kinnick Moaning, and the Hawks are up 14-0 early.
That one's probably going to be Dalton's easiest completion of the year. He had Kinnick running right up the seam and wide open. Just make sure he can run under it there.
Beautiful completion right out of the get-go. 2 plays, 2 touchdowns. And now a point after try upcoming. Hawks looking to kick this one through, and it'll be Brody Penning to try and do so. Penning, who did some kickoff duties last year, not primarily the point after kicker anyway, will line up off of the hold of Dayton Knipe. The snap and spot, bobbled. Now it's picked up by Knipe. He bootlegs around the right side. He gets into the end zone for 2.
Just how you drew it up. 8-man extra points are always interesting. You'll find that out, too. There's not too many good field goal kickers in 8-man.
There's not a gimme by any means in the kicking game. And the Hawks make something out of it, a little bit of a Chinese fire drill, if you will. And Remsen St. Mary's up 16-0 over Arriva. They'll line up to kick it off when we come back to Remsen here on KLEM.
Remsen Farmers Co-op is proud to support Remsen St. Mary's athletics. Just like on the field, hard work, teamwork, and dedication, all are values we believe in every day. Good luck this season from all of us at RFC.
At Bavarian Meadows Assisted Living in Remsen, we're living our best life and cheering on the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Bavarian Meadows, proud supporters of Hawk sports. Go Hawks!
With Westel Systems, you'll always have the perfect plan to fit your lifestyle. With various speeds and data usage, they offer the fastest plans for all your smartphones, tablets, and multiple streaming devices. Call the Remsen office today to find out which plan fits you best, because not everyone understands your internet needs the way Westel Systems does.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
We welcome you back to Remsen football field here in Remsen. Daniel Versteg alongside Justin Rudin as the high school football season is kicked off, and it's kicked off with a bang. 10:36 to go in the first quarter. Remsen St. Mary's up on Arriva 16-0, and now Dalton Klein lines up for the kickoff. Sent a touchback as last time. This one bounces inside the 5, does roll into the end zone for a touchback, and Arriva will get it to the 15-yard line. Well, certainly the best start you could ask for, Justin. Yep. You get a touchdown, 3-and-out, touchdown, and boy, you've really gotten the 2026 season off with a bang.
Yeah, coaches have to be happy, you know, especially, like you said, coming off the season last year. They just want to set a tone. Definitely have done so from the beginning. Now just keeping it going.
Of course, the 2024 state champions, the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks, certainly did not live up to that last year, but they are making a big statement that says, hey, if you thought we were going to be down long, you might want to watch out. This is a great way to get things started. Here's Grant Wilkin, lining up in the pistol. Tight end motions left to right. He turns right, gives to Quintanilla. He's swallowed up for a loss at the 14-yard line. In on the stop there for Remsen St. Mary's. Reese Holm and Dayton Knipe got in there as well. Loss of a yard makes it 2nd and 11.
Yeah, and I can continue to say it, but it's really nice to see us have like a little physical push. I think last year, how many times we talked about we were just getting blown up on the line, and we know in football the most important spot is they can talk quarterback, talk all those skill positions, but it's winning the trenches all the time.
Yeah, that's where games are won and lost, both from an offensive and a defensive standpoint. 2nd down and 11 from the 14-yard line. Wilkin in the gun. Couple of tight ends back off the right side, and there is movement already. It looked like they were trying to send Jack Musfelt in motion, and he is whistled for a false start, 5-yard penalty, and that'll make it 2nd and 16. Another thing you can assume, first week of the high school football season, there will be penalties.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and you kind of see with Arriva, you talked about losing a big senior class and a good, successful one. you know, you can see some of the same traits that we had last year with the penalties, you know, the offensive struggles right away, the physicality part, too, that's standing out. It just happens with youth, and it comes with a little bit of time.
2nd and 16 from the 9-yard line. Arweva in the gun with Grant Wilkin. Takes a helmet high snap. He gives to Quintanilla, trying to sweep off the left side. He's got a pulling tight end. Gets a block on Johnson, but Quintanilla is out of bounds right around the line of scrimmage. They'll give him a yard to the 10-yard line. It makes it 3rd and 15.
Yep, and he said he got a block on Bo, but Bo did a good job of making sure that thing strung out a little longer than let his teammates get there.
Yeah, the block did not last long, trying to just kind of shield him off for a little bit, and Bo fought through it well. So it'll be 3rd down and 15 yards to go. The ball is spotted at the 10-yard line, and now a whistle, and there is an Arweva player down on the far side, and it is Quintanilla, so that is their top running back. That is slow to get up after the play. Might be dealing with some cramping. That also happens a lot in the first week of the season.
Yeah, a little warmer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, you're going to be dealing with a lot hotter temperatures than you're going to finish the season. That's for sure.
Yep.
9:48 left of the first, 16-0 Remsen St. Mary's. Wilkin by himself in the gun. A couple of receivers to the left side. Takes a snap, fakes a jet sweep right. Looks to throw. Passes middle. That ball's deflected by Kinnick Moaning, and it falls incomplete. Looking for Jack Musfeld on the route up the left seam. The incomplete pass makes it 4th and 15.
Well, I think if Coach Osterman or the defense coordinators have anything they want to talk about, they got one there. I think they got lucky. They had a receiver going deep as well. Looked like they were trying to play a zone, and just, again, when you do that zone stuff, you got to communicate really well and know where everybody's at. Got lucky.
Yep. And nice job by Moaning, too, to adjust on all that. And now it'll be Jaden Gallus. He's lining up to return this kick. He's standing at midfield. Mm-hmm. And this punt is actually going to be from Quintanilla, so his quick time on the sideline lasted only one play. 4th and 15, the punt is sent away with his left foot. End-over-end boot, run up at the 35-yard line, fielded by Gallus. He runs it up the left sideline to the 25, and he's tackled out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Good return for Jaden Gallus, and the ball has stayed on Arweva's side of the field. It'll do it again at the 22.
Jaden's going to have a good role this year, and I'm going to be excited to see him. He had a really successful junior high season. Like, amazing enough, probably our fastest guy out there as a freshman. So we're not really known for speed around here in Remsen, but we make do.
Yeah, you make up for it in other ways. That's certainly the way it goes. But here we go. 2 plays, 2 touchdowns for the Hawks, and we'll see what they got for their 3rd play. 1st and 10 from the 22 of Arweva. Klein takes the snap. He runs it off the right side, gets some good blocks up ahead to the 15, 10, 5. Foot race pylon. Touchdown, Remsen St. Mary's. 3 plays, 3 scores. The Hawks lead at 22-0 here in the first quarter.
That's what you call efficiency right there, man. And it's another one, you know, Ty Shuppels was on the pole. I don't think he had to block anybody until he got 10 yards down the field. So that's a good sign for the Hawks offensive line.
Yeah, the Hawks have not had to worry about getting tackled at all tonight. 3 plays, 3 touchdowns. And now the point after kick upcoming for Brody Penning. We'll see if he's successful this time. The last one had a bad snap that still turned into 2 points. Here is the snap, the spot by Kneipe. That's all good. The kick from Brody Penning, that is through the uprights.
Prove me wrong there. There we go.
There we go. The point after try good. 23-0. Remsen St. Mary's leads. 9:25 of the first quarter. We'll take another break and back with more Remsen St. Mary's season opening football in just a moment here on KLEM.
Remsen St. Mary's athletics are in action, and Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance are proud to support St. Mary's all season long. From every play to every cheer, they're behind the team every step of the way. Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance, we have you covered. Great friends, good food, and good times await at the Triangle in Remsen. Proud supporters of Remsen St. Mary's Hawks athletics. The Triangle, where Hawk pride runs deep. Mackin Insurance is a proud supporter of the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Mackin Insurance works hard for you, protecting what matters most with coverage you can count on. From home and auto to farm and business, trust the hometown team at Mackin Insurance.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
And we are glad to be with you here in Remsen, week 0 of the high school football season. Remsen St. Mary's on top of Arweva 23-0. It has been 2 defensive 3-and-outs, 3 offensive possessions. They've been 3 plays and 3 touchdowns. Great start for the Hawks alongside Justin Rude and Daniel Versteg with you. This time, Brody Penning is going to line up for the kickoff. Dalton Klein did the last couple. Penning will boot it away, and he sends a right-footed end-over-end kick. This is a bit of a shorter kick. Bounced inside the 20, run up and fielded by Quintanilla inside the 20. Gets across the 20, breaking a tackle, left sideline near the 25, and he is driven out on the play by Jackson Schrader at the 24. Not a bad return. Best field position Arweva has had tonight, and it's a first down for the Rockets.
Yeah, it would be big for them. Just kind of get something going here and get it going on the kick return there.
Well, you got to start some way, and maybe a little bit of spark. Quintanilla showed some ability to make defenders miss him, and we'll see if he can turn that over to the offensive side of the ball, where it has been a struggle for the Rockets to run the ball. Quintanilla has touched the ball 3 times on the ground. It's amassed a loss of 4 yards so far. So 1st and 10 from Arweva's own 24-yard line. They'll spot at the 25. So 1st and 10 from there. It is Grant Wilkin of the gun, a back off his left side in Quintanilla. He takes the snap. No, that is Musfeld this time. He's running off the right side, and it is stopped very quickly before it could even develop. Titan Waldschmidt was there. He makes the stop. It's a loss of 2. It'll be 2nd and 12.
Again, just a good push with all that stuff. It kind of blows up these plays in 8-man if you can get any sort of push on it. All the movement side to side, it kind of gets blown off.
So again, another loss for the Rocket run attack. It has been uphill climbing and not much to show for it at this point. 8:48 to go in the first quarter. Remsen St. Mary's on top, 23-0. Week 0 of the high school football season. Non-district game, so it doesn't impact the playoff positioning a ton. 2nd down and 12 from the 23. Tight end motions off the formation to the right side. 2 receivers tight to the right. And Wilkin of the gun now motions the slot receiver right to left. And Quintanilla, low snap picked up by Wilkin, and the pressure's in his face. Brody Penning in there. Reese Holman all for the stop at the 17. It's a loss of 6. It'll be 3rd and 18.
Yeah, and when you have troubles blocking up front, you know you can't have a little miss snap or low snap. That kind of throws your timing off and give the Hawks a little bit more time to get in there.
Yeah, they did not
need much.
Yeah, I was going to say they didn't need much more than a beat, but they got that beat, and they were able to get in the backfield with incredible ease. So now 3rd and 18 for Arweva. Ball is spotted at their own 17-yard line with 7:45 to go here in the first quarter of play. 3 receivers to the right. Out of the shotgun is Wilkin. And Wilkin motions a receiver right to left. He takes a belt high snap, runs toward that left side, now looks to throw back to the right, and the pass is overthrown. Looking for Rieselman, the tight end, on a bit of a tight end pop out. An incomplete pass. It'll be 4th and 18, and again, a punting situation.
Yep, yeah, you got to be happy with coaches. He's probably not have too much to say here, but, you take advantage of these situations. You've been putting good pressure on them, and now just kind of clean up your back-end defense, and they did well there.
Yeah, the Rockets have been behind the chains the entire night, which has made things even more challenging. Yeah. So here's Jaden Gallus to return the punt. It'll be sent away by Quintanilla. He's been unfortunately busy for Arweva. End-over-end kick, backed up to Gallus' own 37. Runs it up the right numbers to the 35. Sheds a tackle 30. Cuts it back toward the right hash near the 25, and he's dragged down at about the 27-yard line. Great return for Jaden Gallus, but there is a penalty flag around midfield. And I wondered, I think this might be a block in the back.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of an easy call to be made here early in the season for our officiating crew. Mark Harris is our referee, and so he will deliver the bad news to the Remsen St. Mary's fan. Oh, it's a hold. Okay, so either way, it's a penalty from the spot of the foul, and so Remsen St. Mary's will start within their own territory for the first time in a while. They did so right away on the first drive of the game. It ended in a 54-yard touchdown run from Titan Waldschmidt, and now the Hawks will start from their own 31-yard line. And they'll do so with 7:17 to go in the first quarter. It's already 23-0. Remsen St. Mary's on top of Arweva. Class 8 player Week 0 matchup. Early start for the Hawks and Rockets. Klein by himself in the gun. Couple of wings, one on either side. And he motions one of them in Knipe. Gives it to him on a sweeper on the left side. He's got all kinds of green grass. Left seam, 35-40. One man to beat, 35-30. Penalty flag thrown as Knipe runs it in for a touchdown. He goes 49 yards for 6, but I think this one's coming back on a block behind the play at about the Remsen St. Mary's 37.
Yeah, I might have been wrong. I thought it was pretty good blocks out front, but I don't know if there's something on that backside as well.
So we'll get the official word. Yeah, that is going to be a block at the back, I think, this time. I think so Remsen St. Mary's called for that penalty. That will be from the spot of the foul. It was downfield, so it won't be the full 10-yard loss from the original line of scrimmage. Should be about a 5-yard loss back to the 26, so 1st and 15.
Oh, there we go. Coach can have something to talk about. Play efficiency is no longer perfect right now.
You need something in week 0.
Yeah.
You and your dad are the same way after the first basketball game, right?
Man. You have to find stuff to talk about. You can't give them too much confidence right away, right?
Exactly. It's a long season.
Yes, exactly.
So 1st and 15 after the penalty from the 26-yard line. The Hawks line up in the gun with Klein. He motions Knipe now left to right. Gives it to him again, and the Rockets learn their lesson. There's another penalty flag thrown as Knipe is dragged down maybe a yard past the line of scrimmage to the 27. That stop made by Jack Musfelt.
I think you're going to have a hold there on Ty Shuppelt.
Yeah, that one is a hold.
You get a little bit too aggressive with some of these and on these poles, and then you start grabbing and kind of get your hands a little too far out.
Well, and it's probably from the last few plays that have been so successful you think you can get away with something. And, well, the officials are still watching you, even if it is 23-0 early.
Yep.
And so the Hawks will be penalized for this. They'll lose 10 yards on the hold. And Remsen St. Mary's will be backed up to their own 17-yard line. So have to do a quick math. I think it's 1st and 24 or something like that.
This is important for a team like this. Like you said, still a lot of experience last year, but a young team yet. You can't afford to get yourself in too many of these situations of down and distance.
And this is a good learning lesson, too. 1st and 10, 1st and 24. They hand it off around the left side. There's Titan Waldschmidt breaking a tackle across the 20, and he's finally dragged down at the 27-yard line. Wyatt Rieselman on the stop. He gains 10 of those 24 yards, but it's still 2nd and 14.
Well, that pulling action and stuff, we're getting some good blocks. Like I said, these guys aren't being touched until they get about 5 yards past, and then it becomes one-on-one. So line's doing a good job there. Clean up the holding calls and the blocks on the backs, and they'd be doing pretty dang good.
Well, and again, it wouldn't be a high school football game in the first game of the season without a few of those. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line for Klein, who lines up in the pistol. Waldschmidt's directly behind him, 2 receivers right. And Klein motions Knipe right to left. The slot receiver fakes the give to Knipe, gives to Waldschmidt. Good misdirection up the left seam. Across midfield 40, shoulders a tackle across the 35. He's down in Arweva territory at the 31-yard line. Shot out of a cannon on that handoff, and he gains 27 for a Remsen St. Mary's first down.
I got to give a shout-out to Coach Shutt over there. He's been working with the speed in the summertime, so you can definitely see it there from Titan. He had a little burst. A little faster than his brother Landon, I believe.
Landon knows all about that. He's enjoying watching his brother up here from the press box. 1st and 10 at the Arweva 31. Klein low snap, lobs it up right sideline. Bo Johnson, the catch of the 15, and he runs it the rest of the way in for a Remsen St. Mary's touchdown. That's a 31-yard pop pass over the top to Bo Johnson, and the Hawks continue to roll. It's 29-0 Remsen St. Mary's.
Dalton's got a good QBR going with this. A couple pass attempts and getting open guys, and Bo Johnson's another guy, though. I talked about Titan having that breakout year. We've had a lot of receivers in the past. You think of like the Ryan Wilmans of the world, Austin Jensen's. It took football to get them going, but once they got going, the rest of their sports career went really well.
Yeah, you talked about Klein's QBR right now. He's 2 for 2 for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, not too shabby. Point after try from Brody Penning. The snap, wounded duck, and he missed it wide left. Tried to pull it and could not get it inside the upright. So the point after no good. And with 5:31 to go in the first, it's 29-0 Remsen St. Mary's. We'll step aside, back with more high school football action in just a moment here on KLEM.
Barnes Lawn Care does it all: mowing, spraying, landscaping, irrigation, even snow removal. Call Reggie at 540-4867. Proudly supporting the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Go Hawks!
Get Branded 360 is proud to support our area athletes today and every day. Show your team pride with custom athletic apparel, spirit wear, and personalized gear from Get Branded 360 downtown Lamar's. And be sure to like them on Facebook to keep up on exciting specials and new items.
At American Bank, community is at our core, and that starts with our schools. From classrooms to athletic fields, we're proud to support the students, teachers, and families who shape our communities. Because when schools succeed, communities thrive. At American Bank, we're committed to strengthening our communities, investing in education today to build a stronger tomorrow. American Bank, Lamar's and Remsen, achieving success together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
And we want to be back to Remsen, the opener of the high school football season. And boy, I hope the cheerleaders did their conditioning in the off season. They thought, okay, maybe we'll just enjoy the football season a little bit. They've had to do, at this point, 75, 100 jumping jacks when you add it all up. They're working on 29 right now.
This is why we work out in PE. Exactly. I got to tell them this. That's why. It's for these purposes.
It's for boys and girls,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
At this point, yeah,
exactly.
you got to be ready to go. So, great job by the cheer staff. They're off and rolling it right away. They've been put to work as Remsen St. Mary's has built a 29-0 lead. Last drive, not quite as efficient as the other one, but still 3 plays that ended up with another touchdown. Dalton Klein to Bo Johnson. The Hawk offense, boy. It's got to be a breath of fresh air for them to see this confidence.
Yeah, and I think that for like the players in general too, like to have this like start of a game, a start of a season. I think knowing what's lying ahead, but you're getting stuff done and working efficiently here.
This kickoff toward the far sideline. It's going to roll out of bounds, and a legal procedure penalty on the kickoff, and so Arweva will get some good field position out of that, and we'll see what the Rockets do from that. And, of course, it is worth noting that Arweva did graduate a lot from last year, and the Hawks are going to be facing off with a very good Audubon team next week. But think about the inverse. If you go into that game, after losing a game like this, how low is the morale knowing, man, this is an Audubon team that beat up on a ton of teams last year?
Or even think about, like, not having this game and going into that where it was almost. But, yeah, it's like I said, there's so many good things that come from it. And, like, coaches, they'll watch the film. And even while the score right now looks 29-0, I guarantee you that Tim Osterman and the staff is going to find something that they're going to nitpick. And that's always good for a young team.
Well, they made Remsen St. Mary's re-kick this. It sails over the head of the return man, and Wyatt Rieselman runs it back up the middle of the field where he is brought down right at the 15-yard line. So just about as good as a touchback. And now Arweva will start 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. Made him re-kick after the illegal procedure penalty, and it still kind of ends up in a very similar outcome. So Arweva with the football for the 4th drive offensively so far in this first quarter. 5:22 to play, 29-0, Remsen St. Mary's on top. The Rockets have yet to record a first down. In fact, they have not done much but go backwards so far. So they're looking for something positive to start going their way as the Rockets line up with Grant Wilkin in the gun. Quintanilla to his left, swings a pass out to the back in the backfield, and there is Quintanilla up the left sideline near the line of scrimmage. And he is stopped there for, they'll say, a loss of a yard to the 14. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Yeah, good pursuit there by the Hawks. Kind of make sure it kind of gets spread out. Jay's Bunkers, I think, for his little first time and first tackle. Another guy that was out all his freshman year last year before the season even began with an injury. So, again, you're getting a little bit of people back that you didn't have last year is a big boost for the Hawks.
Yeah, Waldschmidt and Bunkers were certainly the two I was really hoping to see out there, and of course I guess that can be an evergreen statement here in Remsen, talking about a Waldschmidt and a Bunkers.
Pretty common names.
Being excited to see them on a field of some kind, but certainly rings true this year. 2nd and 11 for Arweva, balls at their own 14. A pistol set, Wilkin motions the tight end right to left, low snap, and diving on it, Quintanilla inside the 5. He is stopped right there at the 5-yard line, so it goes from bad to worse. The Rockets drop another 9 yards on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 20 after the bad snap.
Yep, and I'm not sure what position they had that senior player in Gonzalez, but that little bit of a snap problems right away to start for Arweva.
And they got Damon Thompson, another center there that's playing center for them. I know that he did not play center for them last year, so that also
tough position.
It is. People think of
it's just so easy, but
the center and quarterback exchange, second nature to some, but it can be very difficult.
Yep. You need to have it's an important spot, and we knew that from the many years. We've had some really good ones.
Well, and especially now with how many things are out of the shotgun now in high school football too, it's even more critical. 3rd and 20 here from the 5-yard line. Here's Grant Wilkin, bell high snap, quick drop back into his own end zone. He rolls to his right, looking to throw over the middle, deflected up in the air by Dalton Klein. The pass falls incomplete. Jay's Bunkers was trying to chase down the deflection, could not bring it in. It'll be 4th and 20, and the Rockets will have to punt it out of their end zone.
About the most time he's had all day, though, so it was good protection up front, but it's almost those one of those things that's commonly said in football games, don't throw back across your body, and he got away with one there.
Yeah, I would agree. Klein was ready to jump that route and run it back for 6. But here we go, 4th and 20. Ball's at the 5-yard line, and so Jaden Quintanilla is about 5 yards deep into his own end zone. Snap, and he gets it away. Left-footed end-over-end kick. Good punt, all things considered. Fielded at the 37 of Arweva by Gallus. He's got room. 25 to the 20. Left sideline, 18. Finally dragged down at the 17-yard line. A good return for Jaden Gallus, and the Hawks will start inside the 20 with a first down. So they have taken advantage of not only the short fields on the punt, but then getting some good returns off of it as well, and have kept the ball in Arweva territory this entire first quarter. 1st and 10 for Remsen St. Mary's. This is at the Rocket 17-yard line. 29-0. Remsen St. Mary's on top. And the Hawks will line up offensively. They go across the line with Ty Chappelle, Sam Garretts, and Lucas Sheehan. Dalton Klein starts close to an under center formation, but now backs up into the shotgun.
I was going to say, I'd be surprised if you see that with the Hawks.
2 on either side of the formation. Now Knight motions left to right. They give it to him. Jet sweep right side, turns it up the hash across the 15. And he is brought down at the 11. A pickup of 6 for Knight to make it 2nd and 4.
Gone are the days of the under center. I think that goes for college as well. But
it does.
Yeah, I haven't seen that probably since our 04 team when Coach Hayek was under center.
There you go. I was going to say, you're probably feeling kind of like the old man now watching football.
Yeah, it is. It is.
2nd and 4 here from the 11 of Arweva. Klein in the gun, motions a back right to left. There's Knipe. They give it to him again on the jet sweep. Breaks a tackle to the 5, runs over a defender into the end zone for a Remsen St. Mary's touchdown. A good run there by Knipe, and as Justin mentioned, some great blocks downfield, and the Hawks are up 35-0, 2:37 in the first quarter.
Well, it was a good kick out by Lucas Sheehan, another kid that's coming on pretty good for us. And then you see Dayton, I think, don't let the size fool you. He kind of runs with a little bit of anger sometimes. It's good to see him have that physicality and that mentally physical mindset.
It's been great to see, too. 5 different Hawks have scored, physically taken the ball into the end zone for their 5 touchdowns. The ball is spreading well. Waldschmidt, Moaning, Klein, Johnson, Knipe. And, of course, Klein passed to both Moaning and Johnson. Point after try upcoming. Dalton Klein, who made 10 of 11 point afters last year. He's perfect to start this year on his first PAT attempt. And here we are, 2:37 to go in the first quarter. 36-0, Remsen St. Mary's. The Hawks have built a monster advantage. They'll look to keep it going when we come back to Remsen here on KLEM.
Floyd Valley Healthcare and Floyd Valley Clinics in Remsen, Lamars, and Marcus. Your community, your health, your life. Happy to support Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. When it comes to service, your Lamar's Hy-Vee is #1 for shopping both in-store and online. Save with the Fuel Saver Plus Perks Rewards program at Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
Remsen Farmers Co-op is proud to support Remsen St. Mary's Athletics. Just like on the field, hard work, teamwork, and dedication, all are values we believe in every day. Good luck this season from all of us at RFC.
At Bavarian Meadows Assisted Living in Remsen, we're living our best life and cheering on the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Bavarian Meadows, proud supporters of Hawk sports. Go Hawks!
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
We welcome you back here to Remsen St. Mary's High School football, week 0 of the season, the first game of our broadcast schedule. We'll officially get into the numbered weeks, if you will, next week. Week 1, Galen Catholic at Hinton, and then we head to Sioux City. Week 2, Lamar's at Bishop Heelan. So ready or not, here we go. High school football is back, and we're enjoying it. 2:37 to go in the first. Remsen St. Mary's enjoying it. They're up 36-0. Brody Penning, spiraling kick, bounces inside the 10, rolls out of bounds, and they are going to say the Arweva return man Rieselman touched it. It's out at the 8. That's where the Rockets will start.
It wasn't by much, if anything, I don't think, but yeah, that's unfortunate for them.
Yeah, they need anything to go their way, Justin, and anything has far from gone their way.
Yep, it's been a tough one going, but you know, a lot of credit, I think goes to St. Mary's and the staff too. Is like they've done a good job, so it's not just like Arweva having their own problems or whatever it might be. It's St. Mary's caused a lot of these.
And like Coach Osterman mentioned in our pregame chat as well, the focus is every week to go 1-0, win this game, and then worry about Audubon, GTRA, Kingsley, whoever is left on the schedule. So Arweva, I know Coach Osterman's used this before, Arweva's the best team we're going to play this week. You might as well give them your best.
Yep.
1st and 10 from Arweva's 8-yard line. Grant Wilkin in the gun. 2 receivers left. Takes a knee-high snap at a 3-step drop, a yard deep into the end zone. Looking right, looking left. The pocket is all gone. He's able to build some time to his left. Still hasn't thrown. Now the ball is coughed up. It's picked up by the Hawks inside the 5. He's taken down at the 3. No, Arweva did get back on it. Boy, what an effort by the Rockets to keep the possession. How about Damon Thompson to get on the football? And it'll be 2nd and 15 for Arweva at the 3.
I'm not sure who was on that tackle, if it was Jackson Schrader or not, but I watched him that whole possession. New guy, this is a beauty part of this score being what it is. You get some new kids in. And Jackson's a freshman that has some, capability here. And he played coverage all the way down, seen him out of the pocket, ends up making the tackle in the strip.
That's a great job by Schrader. A freshman, of course, we got to see him and enjoy his baseball playing this past summer as an 8th grader. Now 2nd and 15 from the 3 with 1:15 to go in the first quarter. Grant Wilkin, a yard deep in the end zone, stands in the shotgun. He takes a shoulder-high snap, screen pass left. That is caught outside the numbers and running up the sideline across the 5, out of bounds at the 9. Looks like it was Wyatt Rieselman. It was. That's a pickup of about 5. He gets those yards back. It'll be 3rd and 10.
I think that's where they got to live if they want to keep doing it. Those little short, quick passes, like you said. That's probably been one of their better positive plays, And obviously, St. Mary's defenders are just thinking, don't get behind me right now.
Yeah, they've passed to Rieselman a couple of times, and it's been effective. 2 times they've gotten him the football out on the edge, and it's gone for a total of 10 yards. And so now it is 3rd down and 10 for Arweva. The ball is spotted at the 8-yard line of the Rockets. Again, the ball has been in Arweva territory virtually exclusively in this first quarter. This could be the last play of the quarter. 3rd and 10. Snap is low, picked up by Wilkins. He steps through some pressure, throws over the middle. Good catch across the 10 and down at the 14-yard line. That is another Musfeld. Charlie Musfeld picks up 7. It'll be 4th and 3 for the Rockets.
That's back-to-back good plays for him there, and that was actually a really good job there by the quarterback to avoid the sack and then get a nice pass off.
And this will take us to the end of the first quarter as well. So after 12 minutes, a very eventful 12 minutes, Remsen St. Mary's has a 36-0 advantage. Boy, the Hawks looking like their old selves here early in 2026. We'll take a break. Second quarter coming up next here on KLEM.
With Westel Systems, you'll always have the perfect plan to fit your lifestyle. With various speeds and data usage, they offer the fastest plans for all your smartphones, tablets, and multiple streaming devices. Call the Remsen office today to find out which plan fits you best, because not everyone understands your internet needs the way Westel Systems does.
Remsen St. Mary's Athletics are in action, and Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance are proud to support St. Mary's all season long. From every play to every cheer, they're behind the team every step of the way. Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance, we have you covered. Great friends, good food, and good times await at the Triangle in Remsen. Proud supporters of Remsen St. Mary's Hawks Athletics. The Triangle, where Hawk pride runs deep. Mackin Insurance is a proud supporter of the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Mackin Insurance works hard for you, protecting what matters most with coverage you can count on. From home and auto to farm and business, trust the hometown team at Mackin Insurance. Orange Lawn Care does it all: mowing, spraying, landscaping, irrigation, even snow removal. Call Reggie at 540-4867. Proudly supporting the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Go Hawks!
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
And we are back to Remsen as we are celebrating week 0 of the high school football season with Remsen St. Mary's blowing out Arweva early, 36-0 the score. Arweva faces 4th down and 3 to open quarter number 2. The ball is spotted at the Rocket 15-yard line, and they're going to line up to go for it here. This is the best 4th down situation they have had all night.
And why not, right?
Yeah, why not? At this point, you got nothing more to lose. Grant Wilkin in the gun, takes a belt-high snap, drops back to pass, looks to his left. Nobody's open. Now he runs to his left. He's being chased up the sideline. He gets hit before the first down yardage. He stopped at the 16. That was Jackson Schrader. It is a pickup of a yard, but it's a turnover on downs, and the Hawks will get the football at the 16.
Man, another kid that, you talked about his baseball season as an 8th grader at that point, and now as a freshman coming in here, and that's a heck of a hit for an 8th grader.
No
or freshman, sorry.
Yeah, he's turned into a really nice freshman here now that he's about to start high school. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
the school year has not technically started yet, but they'll be getting into classes and have to deal with Justin again.
Oh man, I'm sure they're all looking forward to it too.
So here we go, 1st and 10. Remsen St. Mary's ball's at the Arweva 16-yard line. And it'll be Dalton Klein, 2 tight ends off either side. One of them on either side is offset as well. Jaden Gallus gets the sweeper on the left side. He breaks the tackle 15. 10-5 pylon, and Jaden Gallus is into the end zone for a Hawk touchdown. He is the 6th Hawk player to score a touchdown, and Remsen St. Mary's leads at 42-0.
Yeah, and you said 6th person, and again, another freshman there. And I think if you're Hawk fans listening, watching, whatever it might be, you kind of see the junior squad, and now you just seen 2 freshmen make plays, so that's always an encouraging sign.
Yeah, that's why you play some good junior high football, and that's why it does matter. They're not just going out there and killing some time.
Yep.
They are learning how to play good high school football. And now the point after try upcoming. Brody Penning will try and convert it off of the hold of Dayton Knipe, and, of course, the snap from Lucas Sheehan as well. That execution is all good. The ball is down. Line drive, end-over-end kick. That is through the uprights. It is good. The 3rd successful converted to point after try. 2nd from Brody Penning. And with 10:50 to go in the first half, 43-0 Hawks. We'll be back with more high school football coming up next on KLEM.
Get Branded 360 is proud to support our area athletes today and every day. Show your team pride with custom athletic apparel, spirit wear, and personalized gear from Get Branded 360 downtown Lamar's. And be sure to like them on Facebook to keep up on exciting specials and new items.
At American Bank, community is at our core, and that starts with our schools. From classrooms to athletic fields, we're proud to support the students, teachers, and families who shape our communities. Because when schools succeed, communities thrive. At American Bank, we're committed to strengthening our communities, investing in education today to build a stronger tomorrow. American Bank, Lamar's and Remsen, achieving success together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Floyd Valley Healthcare and Floyd Valley Clinics in Remsen, Lamar's, and Marcus. Your community, your health, your life. Happy to support Remsen St. Mary's Hawks.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
And we welcome you back to week 0 with 10:50 to go in the first half. Remsen St. Mary's has a 43-0 lead over Arweva. And now the Hawks will be kicking this one away. This one fielded at the 10-yard line by Quintanilla. He runs it up the left seam to the 15-20, and he is dragged down just before the 25 at the 24-yard line. That is where Arweva will start with the football next offensively. But we talked about it right before the break there, Justin. 6 different Hawks have scored the football here tonight. It's very impressive to see the depth already showing for the Hawks after how things went last year.
It was the big problem last year was that depth. And it was a good part having, obviously, you get a couple of Siouxland Christian kids coming over, but then also a big freshman class that comes in. And those freshmen proving that they're playing like they're not freshmen right now, which is really nice. So.
Yeah, they made the jump from junior high to high school football very well so far. And now here's Grant Wilkin lining up in the shotgun, back off his left side. That's Jack Musfelt. And the low snap picked off the grass, fake handoff. Now a pitch play right. There's Musfelt trying to get back toward the line of scrimmage, and he is upended right at the line of scrimmage. They're going to say he got back to it and no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and Arweva is kind of showing the last couple of possessions, I would say, that their offensive line's kind of started to pick up the blocking a little bit better, and giving them a little bit more time. And, the Hawks are just kind of being resilient and keep coming here, so that's good.
Yeah, because Arweva, at this point, it's going to be impossible to come back from a deficit like this, but you got to get ready for week 1. They're going to go to Boyer Valley. They got to go to Glidden Ralston, and then their first home game is not until week 3. And wouldn't you know it, it's against the Audubon Wheelers. So they're in the same district as Audubon. So they're going to be tested right out of the get-go, much like the Hawks are. Second down and 10 from Arweva's 24-yard line. Out of the shotgun, Wilkin. He motions the back right to left in Musfelt. Takes a snap, swing pass left. Caught by Quintanilla. Tries to get around the first block. And he's lucky to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain, and it's 3rd and 10.
Good read by Jay's Bunkers there, number 7. And, kind of as a coach or watching him, we talked about like that mentally being a little bit better, with the experience last year. I think that's a sign. Kind of knew Redwood play was coming. And we're able to make a play on it.
So 3rd and 10 for Arweva. Worth also noting that the running clock is in effect. So that 35-point margin here is been met. And so the clock will continue to roll outside of timeouts and outside of change of possession. 8:25 to go in the first half. 43-0. Remsen St. Mary's. So back off either side of Wilkin, who lines up in the gun. A belt high snap. He fakes rolling to his left. Now throws back to his right. He's got Musfeld open in the flats. And Jay's Bunkers hangs on to wait for his friends. Now the ball is stripped away up the left sideline. There's Hunter Klein. Oh. He takes the fumble back for a touchdown. Jay's Bunkers got the initial hit. Then the ball was forced out by Klein. Ethan Klein and Hunter Klein. Hunter takes it to the end zone. It's 49-0 Hawks.
Let's keep on that freshman train there, I guess. There's another one coming in there with a nice little heady play. I remember many years ago, I think there was like a Dustin Pecos had a play like that, and that was just a beautiful play there by Hunter Klein.
Yeah, he just ripped it out of the runner's hands there in Musfelt. And now the point after try upcoming, trying to get to the 50-point mark. It'll be Brody Penning to try and boot it through off of the hold of Dayton Knight. And the snap from Sheehan. The ball is down. Point after kick. He lobbed it up there, and it does not quite have the leg to get over the crossbar. Point after kick, no good. And with 7:54 left in the half, 49-0 Hawks. Remsen St. Mary's forces their first turnover, and it turns right away into 6. We're back with more Hawk football next here on KLEM.
When it comes to service, your Lamar's Hy-Vee is #1 for shopping both in-store and online. Save with the Fuel Saver Plus Perks Rewards program at Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
Remsen Farmers Co-op is proud to support Remsen St. Mary's athletics. Just like on the field, hard work, teamwork, and dedication, all are values we believe in every day. Good luck this season from all of us at RFC.
At Bavarian Meadows Assisted Living in Remsen, we're living our best life and cheering on the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Bavarian Meadows, proud supporters of Hawk sports. Go Hawks!
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
And we welcome you back to Remsen alongside Justin Rudin, Daniel Versteg with you. A tremendous start. One of the things that Coach Tim Osterman mentioned to me in our pregame chat that you heard right here on KLEM, forcing turnovers. Now, a lot of the discussion was about going up to get the football in the air, talking about interceptions, but a turnover in that regard and turning it into points right away is certainly going to help Coach Osterman's philosophy there.
Yep, absolutely. And we talked to it was a freshman making that little play, and we talked about that, mentally, like understanding the game. Like for a freshman again to come in, that's back-to-back plays with them, and make a play like that, knowing that your team has them corralled, pull the ball out.
The kickoff is run back to the 15-yard line, and that is where Arweva will start another drive offensively. The Rockets still have yet to record a first down in this contest. It has been incredibly uphill climbing, sledding, whatever you might want to talk about for them, and so certainly something that they are going to have to address heading into week 1 with Boyer Valley, the opponent. They're heading to Dunlap for that, and then, of course, Glidden Ralston, the road opponent in week 2. That is the start of district play for Arweva against Glidden Ralston. They'll also play an 8-player District 1 rival in Newell Fonda, and now Remsen St. Mary's asks for a timeout. So Tim Osterman wants to talk things over. I don't think the Hawks quite had their personnel in order. While they use their first of 3 timeouts in this half, we'll take some time to thank our sponsors that brought you Remsen St. Mary's football here in week 0 of the high school football season. They are Floyd Valley Healthcare, Hy-Vee, along with Remsen Farmers Co-op, Bavarian Meadows Senior Living, Westel Systems here in Remsen, Creer Insurance and Feed Crop Insurance, The Triangle, Arns Lawn Care, Get Branded 360, Mackin Insurance, as well as American Bank. We greatly appreciate their sponsorship of this rare Week 0 game. We don't get many of these year in and year out, so we figured we should jump at the opportunity, and a great night for it. A great matchup, and Remsen St. Mary's off to a tremendous start here in 2026, up 49-0 with 7:07 left to play in the first half. By the way, coming up at half, we are going to try and get you caught up on the other Week 0 game that's taking place in Class 8 player. That's Kingsley Pearson against Coon Rapids Bayard. We'll try and pass along a score update of that contest for you if we can here on KLEM. So ready to go out of Remsen St. Mary's first time out of the night. It is 1st and 10 for Arweva. The ball is spotted at their own 15-yard line. Grant Wilkin in the shotgun once again. Motions it back right to left in Musfeld. Takes a snap, quick screen pass, caught by Quintanilla. Gets around the block at the 15 and is stopped of forward progress right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on that swing pass to Quintanilla, and it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and I've kind of mentioned it a couple times, but what I'm seeing a little bit more is now these headsy plays. We didn't have a lot of headsy plays last year. You could tell it was a very youthful team, and at least it's showing that they're kind of coming out here. And if Coach Osman was ever worried about having too few practices, this has been a really good night for him because you're getting a lot of different guys in there right now, and I think this is what you need going into another big game next week.
Yeah, this is great in Week 0 to have anybody that's wearing a helmet and pads. They're going to play tonight. That's the kind of the mentality that's got to be there on the side with the blue and white helmets. 2nd down and 10 for Arweva. The ball is spotted at their own 15-yard line. Wilkin in the pistol. Motions the tight end Musfeld left to right. Takes the snap. Tries to hand off left. Quintanilla was going right. This is a busted play. There's a penalty flag in it. And somehow through all of that, Quintanilla did manage to get back to the line of scrimmage and even gain a yard. But that gain will be negated by the penalty that was also part of that busted play.
Yeah, that was no good from the start there. Kind of a little miscommunication or something going on.
And that, if you kind of want to encapsulate the night for Arweva, that is it. And we'll get the official call here from Mark Harris, our referee. And I believe it's going to be a hold, if I would have to imagine. And so this will be a loss. He actually did not signal the penalty, but that's okay. And
it's Week 0 for them, too.
Yep, it's Week 0, so they're getting ready to go. Oh, no. No signal, but we put the pieces together. It's half the distance to the goal to the 8-yard line. And so officially it'll be 2nd and 17 following the penalty. And so 2nd down and long. Ball at the 8-yard line for Arweva. Wilkin in the shotgun, back off his right hip. And he looks over the defense, takes the snap, drops back to pass. He throws it up over the left sideline, and he overthrew one target in Jack Musfeld. I think more accurately, he underthrew Wyatt Rieselman up the sideline. Either way, it's an incompletion. It's 3rd and 17.
Yeah, and he had an opportunity there to the first guy. And just kind of, I think, watching, we get into some new guys in there. Sophomore Lance Glassmaker kind of peeked in the backfield a little too long. They were able to get behind him.
Certainly a learning lesson there, and certainly something the Hawks will work through in film. Lots of good film to study come Monday. Yep. It'll be 3rd and 17 for Arweva. The ball is spotted at their own 8-yard line. Inside of 5 minutes to go in the first half, 49-0, Remsen St. Mary's. And here is Grant Wilkin in the gun. 2 receivers to the right side, back off his left hip with a tight end right as well. Certainly a strong side of this formation. The low snap, knee high, picked up by Wilkin, looks to throw, left sideline toward the weak side. The catch is made, but he was not in bounds. Rieselman tried to bring it in, tried to tiptoe the sideline, incomplete. Jaden Gallus shoved him out as well. It'll be 4th and 18.
If you found anything, I think they found that play. They've kind of picked on it twice there of those little outs, and we're just unable to connect on it. See the Hawks coaching staff right away kind of giving that teaching moment to tell them, hey, we need to be looking for this a little better.
And we'll get a whistle on the play ahead of 4th and 17, and this will be a timeout on the play. And it looks like it's called by Arweva. So we'll take a short timeout with them as well. The Rockets will line up to punt when we come back here on KLEM.
With Westel Systems, you'll always have the perfect plan to fit your lifestyle. With various speeds and data usage, they offer the fastest plans for all your smartphones, tablets, and multiple streaming devices. Call the Remsen office today to find out which plan fits you best, because not everyone understands your internet needs the way Westel Systems does.
Remsen St. Mary's Athletics are in action, and Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance are proud to support St. Mary's all season long. From every play to every cheer, they're behind the team every step of the way. Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance, we have you covered. Great friends, good food, and good times await at the Triangle in Remsen. Proud supporters of Remsen St. Mary's Hawks Athletics. The Triangle, where Hawk pride runs deep.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
Welcome back to Remsen, and week 0 of the high school football season is upon us. Daniel Versteg, Justin Rudin, happy to be joining you for our first pads clacking of 2026. It is 4th and 17 for our Weeva. Ball is at their own 8-yard line. 4:12 to go in the half. 49-0. Hawks line drive, spiraling punt, bounce at the 35. Gallus kicks it to himself at the 38. Now he runs it up the right seam, angles toward the left hash to the 30, breaks a tackle to the 25. Left numbers 20, sidesteps another inside the 20, tries to spin out of an ankle tackle, and is finally dragged down to the 18-yard line. A good 20-yard return for Jaden Gallus puts the Hawks inside the 20 for this drive.
That's good to see. You know, punt returner too. You have to have some trust in that guy, and it's good to see a young freshman out there. And Jaden, he's electric when he gets that ball. Yes. A little small dude, but he's electric with it.
So Remsen St. Mary's will get the football. 3:30 and counting to go in the first half, and the Hawks will start at the Arweva 17-yard line. Jaden Gallus has had a great night returning punts, and so here I line up the Hawks, and they're going to line up Hunter Klein as the quarterback. Young. So here we go, Hunter Klein in the gun. Couple of receivers, tight ends on either side. Motions Jace Bunkers into the backfield. Low snap, sweeps it to him right side. Here's Bunkers up the right seam across the 15. Tackled down at the 13-yard line. Jace Bunkers on the sweep run, picks up 4, and it's 2nd and 6.
Good to see Jace back out there. I know we've said that a couple times, but missing last year. It's good to see him out there getting a touch for his first time. See if they can get another guy in. You know, it's been kind of spread out on who's scoring.
Yeah, 6 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns with the defensive one, yeah. And all 7 still have been different players scoring. Very impressive. Here's 2nd down and 6 for the 13. They're going to sweep it to Bunkers again around the left side. Breaks a tackle in the backfield. Sidesteps another at the 10. Spins out of another at the 5. Angles toward the left seam. Fighting through a defender. He's down at the 4. 9-yard gain for Jace Bunkers, and it's 1st and goal.
That was a nice little spin move there, you know. What do you call it on your controller, the circle button or whatever? But yeah, that was pretty nice from Jays.
Yeah, you play a little Madden. I know that.
It's been a while.
They've gone away with shapes, in case you're wondering.
See, that's how long it's been. That's how long it's been. Probably back in the college days.
Yeah, exactly.
Too busy watching film these days, man. You know that.
They have those high-definition graphics now, in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
Here's 1st and goal from the 4. Inside of 2 minutes to go in the half. Hunter Klein in the gun. 2 tight ends either side. They fake to give to Gallus. Klein keeps it around the right side. Trucks a defender at the 1, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Hunter Klein scored on defense. Now he's scored on offense. And with 1:40 to go in the first half, Remsen St. Mary's has a 55-0 advantage.
He has potential, too. He's got potential to be a really good quarterback for, being a freshman. And obviously mess with scouting when you see Klein and Klein for quarterback there. So it's don't know which one it is.
Well, both of them are weapons, so you figure out which one is which, and then you still can't probably do much about it. Point after kick upcoming here for Remsen St. Mary's. Dayton Knipe on the hold. It's Dalton Klein trying to put it through, and he does. A successful point after kick for Dalton Klein. And with 1:38 left in the half, 56-0. Remsen St. Mary's leads. We're back to finish the first half when we come back to Remsen on KLEM.
Mackin Insurance is a proud supporter of the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Mackin Insurance works hard for you, protecting what matters most with coverage you can count on. From home and auto to farm and business, trust the hometown team at Mackin Insurance. Barnes Lawn Care does it all: mowing, spraying, landscaping, irrigation, even snow removal. Call Reggie at 540-4867. Proudly supporting the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Go Hawks!
Get Branded 360 is proud to support our area athletes today and every day. Show your team pride with custom athletic apparel, spirit wear, and personalized gear from Get Branded 360 downtown Lamar's. And be sure to like them on Facebook to keep up on exciting specials and new items.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
We welcome you back to Remsen, the opener of the 2026 high school football season in Remsen St. Mary's. Boy, they are off and rolling 56-0. They lead Arweva. Hunter Klein has scored his second touchdown in as many scores for the Hawks. He scored a fumble return defensively. Now he punches it in from 4 yards out offensively. And here's the kickoff. It is sent it high into the air over the fingertips of Quintanilla. It bounces into the end zone, and that will still be a touchback. And so Arweva will get the football at the 15 here with 1:34 to go before halftime. So a very impressive start. We've already been talking about it here in this contest. And now, again, you get so many different players an opportunity to play in this game, and that will set you so much further ahead of the 8-ball heading into a very good Audubon team next week.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a coach, this is what you hope for. As a start, you didn't know it was going to go this way, but it's what you hope for. And for Arweva, you know, we were in this situation last year many times, and I think it's important for them. Hey, don't worry what the score says. Let's get this next drive. Let's try to accomplish something here.
So 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line.
That's
pass around the right side. It goes to Quintanilla, and he does get some positive yardage up to the 19. It's a pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And keeping youth and staying a lot of bodies in there. I think Keegan Schreier, number 22, is the one in there, a freshman again for the Hawks.
There you go. Yeah, lots of young faces that are getting their first cracks of varsity football, and they are succeeding in their first opportunities to play for the blue and white on Friday night. So 2nd and 6 here for Arweva. Ball's at the 19-yard line. They are going to have to snap it at least one more time before the first half clock winds down. Arweva will get the football to start the second half, so it's probably not too much lost if they do not find a monster drive here. 2 receivers to the left side, tight end right, and Grant Wilkin in the shotgun once again. He takes the snap, 3-step drop back, has time to throw, now passes left sideline. He's got Jack Musfeld. He juggled it, couldn't bring it in. That hit Musfeld on the hands. He had an opportunity to haul it in, but could not do so. The incomplete pass makes it 3rd and 6.
Yeah, if you're going to nitpick anything, it's going to be those sideline throws. I've seen that we've been lucky with a couple drops or missed throws, but going into next week, you know, Audubon's going to probably be seeing that and hitting those.
Yeah, this worked for Arweva, but they just have not been able to execute on it. And now we're down to 13 seconds left in the half. If the Rockets want to run one more play, they're going to have to hustle, and I think they are going to be content to take this into the half. Understandably so. It's been a rough go of things for the Rockets. They'll look to regroup with another 24 minutes set to go here in Remsen. So we will take a break. It is halftime, and Remsen St. Mary's is looking like the Remsen St. Mary's of old. They lead Arweva 56-0 in the opener of the new season. We'll step aside and recap things on our halftime coverage. More after this here on KLEM Lamar's.
At American Bank, community is at our core, and that starts with our schools. From classrooms to athletic fields, we're proud to support the students, teachers, and families who shape our communities. Because when schools succeed, communities thrive. At American Bank, we're committed to strengthening our communities, investing in education today to build a stronger tomorrow. American Bank, Lamar's and Remsen, achieving success together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Floyd Valley Healthcare and Floyd Valley Clinics in Remsen, Lamar's, and Marcus. Your community, your health, your life. Happy to support Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. When it comes to service, your Lamar's Hy-Vee is #1 for shopping both in-store and online. Save with the Fuel Saver Plus Perks Rewards program at Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
Remsen Farmers Co-op is proud to support Remsen St. Mary's Athletics. Just like on the field, hard work, teamwork, and dedication, all are values we believe in every day. Good luck this season from all of us at RFC.
At Bavarian Meadows Assisted Living in Remsen, we're living our best life and cheering on the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Bavarian Meadows, proud supporters of Hawk sports. Go Hawks!
With Westel Systems, you'll always have the perfect plan to fit your lifestyle. With various speeds and data usage, they offer the fastest plans for all your smartphones, tablets, and multiple streaming devices. Call the Remsen office today to find out which plan fits you best, because not everyone understands your internet needs the way Westel Systems does.
Remsen St. Mary's Athletics are in action, and Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance are proud to support St. Mary's all season long. From every play to every cheer, they're behind the team every step of the way. Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance, we have you covered. Great friends, good food, and good times await at the Triangle in Remsen. Proud supporters of Remsen St. Mary's Hawks Athletics. The Triangle, where Hawk pride runs deep. Mackin Insurance is a proud supporter of the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Mackin Insurance works hard for you, protecting what matters most with coverage you can count on. From home and auto to farm and business, trust the hometown team at Mackin Insurance. Barnes Lawn Care does it all: mowing, spraying, landscaping, irrigation, even snow removal. Call Reggie at 540-4867. Proudly supporting the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Go Hawks!
Get Branded 360 is proud to support our area athletes today and every day. Show your team pride with custom athletic apparel, spirit wear, and personalized gear from Get Branded 360 downtown Lamar's. And be sure to like them on Facebook to keep up on exciting specials and new items.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
We welcome you back to Remsen and the Remsen St. Mary's High School football field. It's halftime. Boy, the Hawks have been on a roll. You cannot ask for a better 2026 than that, a better start to 2026 than that. 56-0. The Hawks lead Arweva in a Week 0 contest in Class 8 player, and it's one thing to be able to score all these points.
Yeah.
It's another thing to be able to do it defensively. The Hawks have been executing both sides of the ball exceptionally well.
Well, and I think it was like the biggest question for me was what growth were you going to see? We went what we experienced last year, and I think I said at the onset was, no longer is the time of saying, well, youth or inexperience is the excuse. Right. We don't have that anymore. Now we have a bunch of our guys, juniors. Yes, we're playing a couple freshmen out there, but our core is juniors now. And, I think they showed growth. They showed improvement, and I think that was a good sign to see. And I thought many times of mental plays that we didn't make last year, and we were making those in that first half.
Yeah, it's the little things, right? I think Coach Osterman mentioned it in the pregame show. He talked about, we know how to hand the ball off a little bit better. Yep. We know how to hustle into the play a little bit better. Once you have those little things down, it changes you so much. I mean, you talk about on the basketball field, basketball court, anybody can make a three-point shot or whatever, but it's the little things, how you pass the ball, that makes a big difference.
And you go back, and I know all the coaches of the same areas we're here to tell you, is we've never been, we've had size at some times, but we've never been the most, athletic team.
Sure.
We haven't been the quickest. We haven't had just the big brutes all the time. But we've always been, based ourselves on the knowledge of the game. And when you have young kids, that was a hard part. I mean, we talk about that a lot. And you're going out there and watching. I think I mentioned a couple times Jay's reading a play or whoever it might be. It might be Titan. It might be anyone on that line. Once you start getting that stuff, that's when you can start becoming a good football team and a good whatever sport that you're in.
Yeah, it's a huge difference. Remsen St. Mary's Sports, a 56-0 advantage. Totally different than the way things went last year. Of course, we've been well documenting it. A couple of forfeits in there, and some slow starts early on. The Hawks were really kind of beat up early on in games. Outscored 169-106 in the first half last year. So on average, about a 2-1 margin. And so. You're obviously not going to win a game in the first 24 minutes, but you can certainly lose it, and that's something that I think the coaching staff has hammered home too.
Yep, and said staying ahead of the chains right away to start. Our first 3 plays I think went for a touchdown,
yes.
but and it's like with any football game, it starts like I said in the trenches, and it was good to see us coming out and have some physicality. I think all Hawk fans kind of wanted to see that. We seen a little bit too much last year where we were being pushed around. And even having some guys coming off the field and, I've seen that physicality back. That kind of goes with Hawk football.
Yeah, and certainly nice to see that the Hawks are kind of back to their winning ways again. It's early. It's the first game of the season. There's still plenty of formidable opponents the Hawks will run into, but certainly a sign of maybe some good things to come. If we take a look at some of the first half offensive stats, at least some of the chicken scratches I could get down as the game went along, trying to juggle a couple of things. Total offense for Arweva, I have unfortunately at a 5-yard loss to this point. They have been effective throwing the football. We've seen that here the last.
Yes.
It's not been the most efficient.
Yep.
Grant Wilkin is 3 of 10 for 17 yards, but the passes he has missed so far, they're not missing by much.
No, and I know Coach Osterman is just like me and Coach Shutt. We're like those nitpickers, and we kind of watch. And there's certain things that stick out, even though when you're doing so good. But that sideline throw has been open, and like I said, it's not by much. No. It might have been a drop or two there. And those things that you want to fix, this is a good time to fix now.
Yeah, a couple of drops, maybe an extra
Yep.
6 inches on the sideline, and those do turn into big plays. So Arweva's got a little something brewing there. We'll see if they can keep that energy up going into the second half. Meanwhile, Remsen St. Mary's, I've unofficially tallied them for 233 yards of total offense, 163 of which have come on the ground, 70 of them through the air. Only 2 attempted passes so far in this game. They've been completions, total of 70 yards from Dalton Klein, both to Kinnick Moaning and Bo Johnson. They both went for touchdowns. On the ground, love what I've seen from Titan Waldschmidt.
Yeah.
Boy, it would have been great to have him last year.
Yes.
Good to have him now anyway. 3 carries for 91 yards, 1 touchdown for him. Dalton Klein's 1 carry went for 22 yards. That was a score. Dayton Knipe, 2 carries, 17 yards. He scored a touchdown. Jaden Gallus had a carry for 16 yards, and I believe that found the end zone as well. It did. And then Jays Bunkers, 2 carries, 13 yards. Hunter Klein, 1 carry for 4 yards and a touchdown as well. So again, 7 different Hawks have scored the 8 touchdowns. Hunter Klein got 1 defensively and offensively. That's the double up. So Hunter Klein, 2, Jaden Gallus, 1, Bo Johnson, Kinnick Moaning, Dayton Knipe, Dalton Klein, Titan Waldschmidt. I mean, for an 8-player football team to be able to boast 7 different scores in one game, that's darn impressive.
I think the only one not having a touchdown is we got to get you out there for your birthday to get one. I was told by Lauren Dion, this is your birthday, and he's kind of holding me hostage that I have to bring it up here, so I'm sorry about that.
Well, when a Hall of Fame coach puts you up to it, and a guy who's won as many state championships as Lauren does, well, I appreciate it. There's no better place to be than on your birthday at the football
This
field.
is where we want you, too. So, I haven't said it yet, but this is awesome having you here, and I'm glad to be doing that.
I'm glad to be doing it with you, too.
You're right. 7 guys, an 8-man team, and I think there's more out there. So,
right.
Sadly, I think the only thing that's not going to be too high is Dalton's pass attempts or pass attempts at all, and then maybe our yards after contact, because there hasn't been. The line's been doing a good job with some of these guys and just some big runs.
Well, I'm looking at a couple of guys offensively that could potentially score. Maybe a Brody Penning gets the football. Jays Bunkers still hasn't scored yet.
He had a couple times where he was really close, but you imagine he'll get in there in the second half.
Maybe a Lance Glassmaker, some other guys that could potentially find the end zone. So certainly some opportunities. The Hawks just have to be effective in getting the football out to those guys, and we'll see if they can get that done here in the second half of play as well. Again, your halftime score, Remsen St. Mary's 56 and Arweva nothing. Stay tuned. We're going to have a quick scoreboard update for you. There is one more Week 0 game. It's happening right here in Plymouth County that we are going to get you caught up on when we come back on our halftime coverage. So stay tuned for that. More high school football action coming your way soon here on KLEM.
At American Bank, community is at our core, and that starts with our schools. From classrooms to athletic fields, we're proud to support the students, teachers, and families who shape our communities. Because when schools succeed, communities thrive. At American Bank, we're committed to strengthening our communities, investing in education today to build a stronger tomorrow. American Bank, Lamar's and Remsen, achieving success together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Floyd Valley Healthcare and Floyd Valley Clinics in Remsen, Lamar's, and Marcus. Your community, your health, your life. Happy to support Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. When it comes to service, your Lamar's Hy-Vee is #1 for shopping both in-store and online. Save with the Fuel Saver Plus Perks Rewards program at Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
Remsen Farmers Co-op is proud to support Remsen St. Mary's Athletics. Just like on the field, hard work, teamwork, and dedication, all are values we believe in every day. Good luck this season from all of us at RFC.
At Bavarian Meadows Assisted Living in Remsen, we're living our best life and cheering on the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Bavarian Meadows, proud supporters of Hawk sports. Go Hawks!
With Westel Systems, you'll always have the perfect plan to fit your lifestyle. With various speeds and data usage, they offer the fastest plans for all your smartphones, tablets, and multiple streaming devices. Call the Remsen office today to find out which plan fits you best, because not everyone understands your internet needs the way Westel Systems does.
Remsen St. Mary's Athletics are in action, and Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance are proud to support St. Mary's all season long. From every play to every cheer, they're behind the team every step of the way. Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance, we have you covered. Great friends, good food, and good times await at the Triangle in Remsen. Proud supporters of Remsen St. Mary's Hawks Athletics. The Triangle, where Hawk pride runs deep. Mackin Insurance is a proud supporter of the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Mackin Insurance works hard for you, protecting what matters most with coverage you can count on. From home and auto to farm and business, trust the hometown team at Mackin Insurance. Barnes Lawn Care does it all: mowing, spraying, landscaping, irrigation, even snow removal. Call Reggie at 540-4867. Proudly supporting the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Go Hawks!
Get Branded 360 is proud to support our area athletes today and every day. Show your team pride with custom athletic apparel, spirit wear, and personalized gear from Get Branded 360 downtown Lamar's. And be sure to like them on Facebook to keep up on exciting specials and new items.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
And we welcome you back to Remsen, Iowa. Remsen St. Mary's High School, the football field just behind the old Remsen Union building.
Yep.
Alongside Justin Rudin, Daniel Versteg with you. Once again, it's halftime. Remsen St. Mary's, the 2024 Class 8 Player State champions. Took a step back last year, went 3-5, but boy, are they back and better than ever, at least to start this year. They're up 56-0 at the halftime break. Did want to get you one score update, the only score that we can really get you because everybody else is playing scrimmages tonight.
Yep.
It's Kingsley-Pearson, Coon Rapids-Bayard in Kingsley. The Panthers have the early lead there on CRB. It's a 32-16 advantage for Kingsley-Pearson at the half in Kingsley. So a good start there for a district rival, the Panthers.
Another team I imagine will be pretty dang good this year.
I think so, yeah. They were a playoff team last year. They lost a lot as well. Basically every one of their skill guys from last year graduated, but they do bring back a lot on the line, which certainly is helpful for Coach Travis Newman. Speaking of our area teams, join us tomorrow morning, 8:05. The KLEM Coaches Corner is back. It's going to be a hybrid preview of the season and a review of Week 0, if you will. Of course, we'll have recap interviews with both Remsen St. Mary's head coach Tim Osterman, Kingsley-Pearson head coach Travis Newman, and then we'll have preview interviews. We're going to chat with Lamar's head coach Ken Vigdahl, Galen Catholic head coach Jeremy Schindler. We'll chat with Akron Westfield head coach John Seaver. We're going to go to Marcus and chat with new head coach Colin Eude, and then, of course, we're heading to Hinton to chat with our favorite Kavian Harderson down there as well. So all kinds of great conversations. We'll hope you join us for them where they start tomorrow morning at 8:05 on the KLEM Coaches Corner, and, of course, that will air every Saturday morning, throughout the high school football season. So
you're back at it, man.
We are back at it, and no better place to be on a Saturday morning than talking with some great football coaches, great leaders of men in this area.
I enjoy those.
Yes,
those are always nice to hear other coaches talk, and I know in the wintertime you get two Rudins with it, so that's pretty awesome. I get Sydney in there. And
one by choice, I guess, if you will. You got stuck with the name at birth.
Absolutely. She loves, I'm sure my brother rubs that into her quite a bit.
Yeah, it's always a great conversation. And you get different philosophies, too. And it's so great to hear what they have to say. Always great to chat about our area youth and all the great things they're doing from the coaching perspective.
Got good sports around this area.
You
guys do a good job of covering it.
We appreciate that. Thank you, Justin. Yeah, we've been fortunate to have many state basketball trips. We go to the Unidome basically every year. We go to Fort Dodge for state softball. We're in Carroll every year. So
put the mile on your car.
We put the mileage on the KLEM vehicle. That is for sure. And we are happy to do it. And hopefully we get to do it again plenty of times here in the fall. Volleyball, football, whatever it might be. Volleyball's getting started next week, too. Hawk volleyball team ranked in the top 15 in Class 1A.
Yeah, good to see.
Stacy Bunker's squad, who was a region finalist last year, they're looking to make some noise again, and certainly still kind of bouncing back from all the things that happened with those ladies. Of course, volleyball was the last sport that they were able to really enjoy together before the tragic bus accident. And so looking forward to seeing what they can do in 2026 as well.
Yeah, obviously a big spot to fill with Brielle. But, I think she's been awesome. And, and you see those girls and the success they had in softball. I wouldn't be surprised if it carries over into volleyball season. And Stacy's a great coach and does a great job and really turned – that program kind of was just kind of mediocre for many years, and it hasn't had that. It's the one thing at St. Mary's that hasn't had that state run for a long time.
Yeah,
and she's done a great job, like I said, just so close last year.
We got to remind Mike Meyer how old he is. He was the last one to take the Hawks to the state tournament in volleyball back in the 1980s.
And who would have thought Mike Meyer would ever get to state? Huh?
I know. He never goes to state.
I feel like everything that guy touches does.
Or national tournaments in Northwestern. He never did any of that. No. We love Mike, and we always we're going to start seeing him again. I know he comes to a lot of volleyball matches, so that's always a great time to chat with Mike Meyer. And, of course, he was a good baseball guy, too, back in the day. So always great to catch up with him as well. So we are ready to go. Halftime has wrapped up. We're glad you stuck it out with us through our halftime coverage here this evening. Plenty more. We'll have a lot more to talk about during halftime as the season progresses. Of course, there's just not a whole lot of games going on, and so we don't have as many updates to pass along for you this week. We'll have some more as the season goes along. But Remsen St. Mary's will be kicking off the football to start the second half of play as they lead Arweva 56-0. Keep in mind the running clock is going to be in effect this entire second half, so things could move relatively quickly as Brody Penning squibs a kick. This is muffed inside the 10. The ball is free.
He ended up with it.
And Arweva did still come up with it. Quintanilla took a shot going after that loose ball, recovers at the 17, and the Rockets will try and get something moving offensively.
Yeah, that was good. Kind of good start out of the half here because you always kind of wonder how you're going to come out, especially with a big lead. Kind of set the tone early and important. There's nothing more frustrating as a coach when you have some of these subs come in and then you start letting down, and give up some points or give up some yards. Keep maintaining what you were working on in the first half and get better.
That's the big thing because, second halves are not going to be guaranteed this season.
This is your time, yep.
And now we have a whistle stoppage. Might be some kind of equipment issue, and Brody Penning is having to be brought off the field, so they're going to bring in Lance Glassmaker to replace him. I think they're telling Brody that his gloves, he's not able to wear those or something like that. Either way, they'll get that taken care of, and hopefully we can see Brody out there defensively again. And now it'll be first down and 10 for Arweva. Inside of 11 minutes to go in the second half, or in the third quarter. Again, the clock will be moving pretty quickly throughout this game. The remainder of this game. Grant Wilkin by himself in the shotgun, looks to pass quickly, pump fakes the short route, looking to air it out, rolls left to buy some more time. Now he's flushed back to his right. He's being chased over toward the near side by Schreier, throws upfield. It's caught by Jack Musfeld with a penalty flag behind the play as Musfeld carries toward the yard to gain, and he's got it at the 27. It's a 10-yard game, but there's a penalty behind the play. And just where it's located, I got a bad feeling for the Rockets.
And all that time. Usually when you have that much time, there's going to be something of a hold or a block.
Yeah. So that is going to be a penalty against Arweva. I think he signaled. Did he signal block in the back?
Yeah, I thought he said a push and back, block back.
So that'll be a penalty, and that'll be half the distance to the goal as well. And so it'll be first and a mile. That is a tough break. That was going to be Arweva's first down of the night. Instead, it turns into a massive loss.
Kind of a little on coverage, but more so on the pressure. We talked about in the first half, we were getting in there. It seemed like in a blink of an eye. They've had a lot of time on some of these passes now, and it's a little bit of the rollout or whatever, the scramble mode, but got to get some guys to kind of get back in there and fire through one of the holes.
And credit the fact that Grant Wilkin is a really good athlete.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely tell that.
He's been able to build that time more often than not. With 9:25 to go in the third quarter. Again, it's going to move fast. First and 19 from the 8-yard line. Here is Wilkin in the gun. He turns and gives. This is Jack Musfeld fighting his way through that Hawk defensive front, and he's dragged down at the 12. That's a pickup of about 3. And so it'll be second down and about 15 yards.
Yeah, we're going kind of with that young lineup on defense here for the Hawks. So you go looking like freshman, junior, freshman on the line, and then you got to add a couple more freshmen back there, and then 2 sophomores to top it off.
Well, certainly a great way for those guys to get some good, valuable experience. Here early in the season, week 0. Again, this game counts, unlike the other games that are playing around the state that are scrimmages. It's second and long from about the 12-yard line. Here's a low snap. It's handed off. Musfeld up the left seam, breaks a tackle, and he's able to get some of that yardage back up to the 18-yard line. It is a pickup of about 7, and so it'll be 3rd and 9.
And that might be like the 2 first plays of back-to-back positive plays, so that's kind of good to see for them. Hawks got to clean it up of the line there up front, kind of getting some good push.
Well, it's got to be just got to make Coach Stolk's head spin. Austin Stolk, the head coach of Arweva, considering all of that came after a big loss on a penalty.
Yes,
and
again.
So they were moving good. They had some good things starting, but the penalty cost them as well.
It's a youthful team. It's that stuff that you can't afford to do. You need to be ahead of the chains all the time.
Well, at least it's a good positive reinforcement for Stolk to say, hey, this is what we're doing. It has worked. We just need to get it consistently. Now 3rd and 9. Hawks look to bring a blitz with Schrader from his linebacking spot. Throws left sideline, and the pass is incomplete. Wyatt Rieselman the target, and it was covered well by Jaden Gallus. So it'll be 4th down and 9.
Yep, and when there was that sideline pass we kind of talked about at halftime, and then Jaden did a good job. I think that's good on the coaches there, kind of noticing something.
Good adjustment. Jaden Gallus, one of the backup secondary men this year as a freshman. And we'll certainly see him make some plays as the year goes along. Again, Remsen St. Mary's back at home next week against Audubon, and then they will start district play against the defending district champion Titans from GTRA. That is homecoming already for the 3rd game of the season, September 4th. So if you're a Hawk alum, get out here. 4th and 9, punt coming from Quintanilla. He lines it up, and a line drive end over and kick. The Hawks do not have a return man back there. They're going to let this roll all the way to the Remsen St. Mary's 31-yard line before it is whistled dead. And so Remsen St. Mary's will bring the offense back out there with 6:45 to go before the 3rd quarter comes to an end. And Remsen St. Mary's sports a 56-0 lead. So we're going to see who is going to line up under center. Hunter Klein did it for a little while to end the 2nd quarter.
I bet Hunter gets the call this second half.
I think so, yes, it is. Okay, I did not see him in the huddle. There he is now. So Hunter Klein lines up as the quarterback. And a couple of tight ends, one on either side. Jays Bunkers, the wing on the right. Jaden Gallus, the wing on the left. Gallus motions left to right. They get the handoff to him, sweeps it around the right side. He's dragged down near the line of scrimmage. They'll give him maybe a yard up to the 32-yard line. So that pickup makes it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, a couple things not as clean as what the first half was. And I know that gets to be this way, but hopefully, like there, get a block. We missed a little kick out one. And just small things that I know coaches are going to want to clean up and kind of finish this game strong with.
5:50 left in the 3rd, 56-0 Remsen St. Mary's. Hawks well on their way to a 1-0, convincing 1-0 start to the year. Hunter Klein in the shotgun, motions Bunkers into the backfield, gives it to him on a sweeper on the left side. On 2nd and 9, he carries up the left hash, follows his blockers. Good patient run from Bunkers up to the 38, picks up 6 to make it 3rd and 3.
Yep, on cue. That was better right there.
And again, it goes back to some of the things you've been talking about, Justin, the ability to be a more of a heady football player, if you will, knowing that, hey, if I sprint around my blockers on that play, I probably don't get as far as if I slow down and wait for them to pave a path for me.
And I'm sure it would be a shock to everybody to know that a Bunkers is kind of a heady sports athlete or whatever you want to be. So
Jackson did that so many times. And now here's Klein running off the right side on his quarterback keep. He's got a 1st down on 3rd and 3. Carries to the Yarweva 36. A pickup of 6 moves the chains for the Hawks.
Kind of a little bit of this difference with these freshmen, this year, especially like the Hunter and like I said, Jackson Schrader's name a couple times. Just the bodies and the physicality. Like that's a physical run right there. And I think some of the stuff that we're missing last year was that. And it's nice to have it. Genetics helps a little bit to be coming in here a little bigger than usual. So good to see Hunter with a physical run right away.
And the Hawks have that in droves, that's for sure. 1st and 10 from the Arweva 36. Handoff around the left side. Jaden Gallus now penalty flag blows it dead. I wonder if Gallus might have tried to get going early or somebody.
Right.
It's a false start regardless. Not sure if it was Gallus. Either way, it's a 5-yard penalty, so the Hawks will be backed up into their own territory for 1st and 15.
Not too many of them. I think the time that we've had them, they've come in bunches.
Right.
So, but not too many overall, which is pretty good for a first night.
Yeah, all things considered. Normally, these are kind of your 10 to 15 penalty nights, and they've drone on and on because of that.
Yep.
But from that standpoint, really has not been too much of an issue this evening. Inside of 4 minutes to go in the 3rd, 56-0 Remsen St. Mary's, 1st and 15 from the 39. They give it to Gallus, sweeping out the left side. He's got a good block. Left numbers 30, 25, 20. Foot race to the end zone. Jaden Gallus, touchdown, Remsen St. Mary's. He goes for 41 yards, and the Hawks are up 62-0 here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, that was nice. Like I said, he had the good kick-out block. I didn't see who that was there, but then I seen Jay's getting a nice little seal block. So it was nice. That all things that we were talking about at the beginning of that drive that they need to clean up a little bit, they just did there with the second team.
And Jaden Gallus finds the end zone for the 2nd time tonight. Jaden Gallus, couple of carries, 57 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And now the point after kick from Brody Penning. Once again, off of the snap of Lucas Sheehan, the hold by Dayton Knipe. That execution's good. Line drive kick barely got over the line.
Watch out for the heads.
And yeah, no kidding. Did not get anywhere near over the crossbar. The point after kick is short and no good. 3:30 to go in the third. 62-0 Hawks. Back with more of the third quarter in just a moment from Remsen here on KLEM.
At American Bank, community is at our core, and that starts with our schools. From classrooms to athletic fields, we're proud to support the students, teachers, and families who shape our communities. Because when schools succeed, communities thrive. At American Bank, we're committed to strengthening our communities, investing in education today to build a stronger tomorrow. American Bank, Lamar's and Remsen, achieving success together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Floyd Valley Healthcare and Floyd Valley Clinics in Remsen, Lamar's, and Marcus. Your community, your health, your life. Happy to support Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. When it comes to service, your Lamar's Hy-Vee is #1 for shopping both in-store and online. Save with the Fuel Saver Plus Perks Rewards program at Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
And we welcome you back to Remsen. Watching this contest with you alongside Justin Rudin, Daniel Versteg with you with 3:31 to go in the third quarter. Line drive squib kick, fielded on the bounce at the 12, run out by Rieselman, right sideline 20 to the 25, and Reese Holman drags him to the turf at the 26-yard line. That's where our Wevo will start, trailing Remsen St. Mary's 62-0 in a Class 8-player Week 0 game. It is worth noting a couple of things with these games. Now, the Iowa High School Athletic Association likes to make the assumption known that these games do not factor into playoff consideration. However, non-district games in general at the 8-player level do not count into playoff consideration anyway, so this just basically becomes an extra non-district game. The Hawks and the Rockets will get a forfeit win somewhere down the line for the game that they miss in their schedule because of a couple of teams canceling their season. So here's a handoff on 1st and 10. Jack Musfeld gets to the 30-yard line. He's able to fall forward, and that's a good sign of a good running back. A 4-yard carry to make it 2nd and 6.
Yep. Yeah, I think on that last touchdown run, I think the guy with the kick-out block was Kalen Keegan. I got to give him a shout-out, a Siouxland Christian kid.
Yes.
And good to see them come down here and kind of get a part of it, playing some football, actually, you know. So, and hopefully getting ready to improve their program, and they get to learn a little something from us. And what a commitment, you know, to make a drive like this and those kids. So that was very worthy to get on the radio for our Siouxland Christian fans, too.
And one of the 3 seniors on this Hawk roster that was honored with senior night.
Absolutely.
Again, senior night this early in the season, a little rare, but that's kind of what the Hawks have to do this year. 2nd and 6 from the 30. A handoff up the middle. Here's Musfeld powering his way through a few defenders.
That was a good run.
He's got a nice gain on a very nice run to the 33. 3-yard pickup will make it 3rd and 3.
See a little more physicality out of them now with these couple runs. Positive yards, like you said. Little takeaways. I said, as a coach, you tell them just forget the scoreboard. Let's get something to build off of going into next week.
Well, and you know, the cliche thing is to say, well, you enter the second half, it's tied at 0-0, but that really does have to be your mentality, because if you go into the second half knowing it's 56-0, then you're just done for it.
Easy thing to do to give up, and you're not going to get anywhere with doing that. So it's good to see they have the mindset here to kind of keep going and keep pushing.
Yeah, and credit Arweva. They have not given up by any means. That's great to see early in the year, and that will carry them. Here's 3rd and 3. They've got an option run, and trying to pick up a yard there is Grant Wilkin. He had to keep it after the Hawks read the option. It's a yard gain. It'll be 4th and 2, kind of right in the middle of the field. So this is a good, in any game, a good scenario to go for it.
Absolutely, and it's kind of see what you can do here. And I think this would be a good positive note for them, and both sides get a little test here. This is really kind of our first 4th down that's been manageable, I would say, in this situation.
Right, or kind of a real scenario. I know they went for a 4th and 3 inside their own 20-yard line earlier. That's not really a realistic scenario, but they just kind of had to with the game where it was. So this is a good test. 4th and 2 from the 34-yard line. Wilkins in the gun, 2 receivers left, a tight end right, and Wilkin takes a helmet-high snap. Quick drop back. He's looking to pass. He's flushed to his right. He's looking to throw. Now he's going to run. He's got a first down. Tackled near midfield at the 39-yard line. It's a 5-yard pickup, and for the first time tonight, Arweva has a first down and moves the chains near midfield.
And that's that's an accomplishment, right? And we kind of talked how big that moment was, and you're right. He's athletic. I think he can do some damage this year, and hopefully get some good blocking and keep improving with him.
And that run will also take us to the end of the third quarter. Again, with the running clock, things will move quickly. And we go to quarter number 4 with the score. Remsen St. Mary's 62, Arweva nothing. Back with more high school football coverage in week 0 after this on KLEM.
Remsen Farmers Co-op is proud to support Remsen St. Mary's athletics. Just like on the field, hard work, teamwork, and dedication, all are values we believe in every day. Good luck this season from all of us at RFC.
At Bavarian Meadows Assisted Living in Remsen, we're living our best life and cheering on the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Bavarian Meadows, proud supporters of Hawk sports. Go Hawks!
With Westel Systems, you'll always have the perfect plan to fit your lifestyle. With various speeds and data usage, they offer the fastest plans for all your smartphones, tablets, and multiple streaming devices. Call the Remsen office today to find out which plan fits you best, because not everyone understands your internet needs the way Westel Systems does.
Remsen St. Mary's athletics are in action, and career insurance and feed crop insurance are proud to support St. Mary's all season long. From every play to every cheer, they're behind the team every step of the way. Career insurance and feed crop insurance, we have you covered. Great friends, good food, and good times await at the Triangle in Remsen. Proud supporters of Remsen St. Mary's Hawks athletics. The Triangle, where Hawk pride runs deep.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
And we welcome you back to Remsen and the start of the fourth quarter in week 0 of the high school football season. Remsen St. Mary's, a 4-time state champion in their program history, 3 times in a 5-year stretch between 2020 and 2024. They're looking like their old state championship self. They lead Arweva by a score of 62-0. 1st and 10, though, for the Rockets as they open the fourth quarter from their own 39-yard line. And this will be Grant Wilkin. He turns and gives. Quintanilla runs it up the left side. Good counter play as he's tackled across midfield. A nice open field tackle from Jay's Bunkers into Hawk territory at the 38. It's a 3-yard gain to make it 2nd and 7.
Finding some more room on that line there and getting a little more space and positive yards, back-to-back plays. And another good just tackle by Jays, though, on that one to prevent it from being any more.
Yeah, the Rockets are finally in the black, if you will, from a running standpoint. They have 11 positive yards in that category, and so certainly trying to make some headwind. A lot of those positive yards, of course, coming here in the second half. And now they're starting to get a number of players involved. Jack Musfeld's had some good runs. Grant Wilkin has scrambled a couple of times, and now Jaden Quintanilla getting going offensively as a freshman running back for them as well. 2nd and 7 here for Arweva at the Remsen St. Mary's 38. A play-action fake. Wilkin, after the fake, rolls to his right, chase to the sideline, throws it up the sideline, and he overthrew Jack Musfeld downfield at the 25. Incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Some openings, and sometimes I think he could just take off and go, you know, get some positive yards on those. So, but again, kind of going with it, learning a little bit more as this first game moves on. And
well, Wilkin kind of in an interesting situation. He was thrown into the fire a couple of times at the quarterback position last year, so he has experience, but primarily he was a tight end for the Rockets last year. And, of course, the quarterback position for Arweva last year was get the ball to Wyatt Regaler and get out of the way a lot of times. But he still has some experience back there, and that certainly will help him as this season goes along. 10:20 to go in the contest, 3rd down and 7 as Grant Wilkin lines up in the gun. He takes the snap and immediately rolls left. Now he's looking to throw back right. Oh, he dumps it off. There's Musfeld open in the flats across the 35 to the 30. He's down right at the 30-yard line. A pickup of 8 on 3rd and 7, and the Rockets have a 1st down.
By far their best drive of the night, and a little, like I said, just keep fighting here for them if that's the case. And Hawks still some things to clean up with this little second group as far as defensive-wise.
Oh, that was a really well-executed play.
Yeah,
Coach Austin Stolk, Jake Danner, the coaching staff for Arweva, got to put a bookmark on that one because that one worked really well. The secondary was all out deep. The pressure had gotten past that screen of Musfeld. And so now it's 1st and 10 for Arweva at the Remsen St. Mary's 30. Out of the shotgun once again, Wilkin. Tight end, 2 tight ends to his right, back off his right hip, and Quintanilla on 1st and 10 from the Hawk 30. The pitch play delayed around the right side. Quintanilla up the seam across the 30, and he's got a positive gain up to the 27-yard line. A pickup of 3. That makes it 2nd and 7.
Positive gains. I think you keep saying that a lot. This is the first time we've said that many times for them. This is good for them.
Certainly something that they'll learn from and get better for, with non-district play continuing for Arweva next week, and they'll start district play in 2 weeks at Glidden Ralston. Their district very tricky. Arweva was one of the 3 automatic qualifiers out of their district, along with Coon Rapids Bayard and, of course, a state semifinalist Audubon Wheeler team. They're in Class 8-player District 9. 2nd and 7 from the 27. A handoff to Quintanilla. Bounces off tackle around the right side, and he's across the 25, down at the 23. A nice solid gain again. 4 yards for Quintanilla, and it's 3rd and 3. So the Rockets building something and getting a good groove. And if there's nothing else Arweva can take away from this game, finding some points would certainly do wonders for them heading into next week.
Small wins, and that's what you got to find in games like these.
So we'll see if they can get another small win here. It's 3rd and 3, and these are tough to execute, especially down at this point in the field from the Remsen St. Mary's 23. And here is Wilkin, a belt-high snap, and he gives it. Musfeld trying to find a hole, and the Hawks swallowed it up. That's Jackson Schrader again. We've said his name a lot. He he gathers a loss of a yard. It'll be 4th and 4.
I think he'll have a role with this team going forward this year, especially at a young age.
Well, you could say that again. I was really impressed, too. I know we pointed it out a couple of times, his play on the baseball diamond. He would come in and pinch hit a couple of times. He'd come in relief and pitch and hit very well. And after a certain while, it kind of twisted Dean Harpenaugh's arm enough to say, all right, we got to use you a bit more. 4th and 4, screen pass left. That's caught by Quintanilla. He has stood up at the line of scrimmage, and he gets no further on 4th and 4. So that promising Arweva drive comes short. It is a turnover on downs. Hawks will take it 1st and 10 of the 24.
That was more like the bend but don't break defense going on with that one.
Yeah, good job there by the Hawks. And all things considered, they are able to shut down that Arweva drive. 2nd time the Rockets have turned the ball over on downs here tonight. And now Remsen St. Mary's will start in their own territory. 7 minutes to go in this ball game. And Remsen St. Mary's is up 62-0 in this district opener in Class 8 player. And, the season opener, non-district game, of course. Remsen St. Mary's on 1st and 10. They direct snap it to Bunkers. He carries up the left seam, stiffs arms a defender. He's in the open field to the 30, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Remsen St. Mary's. Jays Bunkers is Remsen St. Mary's 8th touchdown scorer of the night, and the Hawks are up 68-0 with that run.
That was an awesome run. He's had some impressive runs tonight, too. So I know that's the first one that broke, but he's had some nice spins there with a nice little stiff arm, just kind of a slippery. What this offense needs more of, right, is another guy that can handle the ball and run with it. It would be good.
Well, and of course it is a Bunkers. You know he can handle the football. 76 yards on the ground now for him after that 56-yard score. Point after try-up coming for Dalton Klein off of the hold of Dayton Knight. The snap and spot are good. That process has gotten better, and the point after kick is good. And your score was 6:32 to play. It's Remsen St. Mary's 69, Arweva nothing. We'll take a break, and the Rockets will get the football coming up when we come back here on KLEM.
Mackin Insurance is a proud supporter of the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Mackin Insurance works hard for you, protecting what matters most with coverage you can count on. From home and auto to farm and business, trust the hometown team at Mackin Insurance. Barnes Lawn Care does it all: mowing, spraying, landscaping, irrigation, even snow removal. Call Reggie at 540-4867. Proudly supporting the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Go Hawks!
Get Branded 360 is proud to support our area athletes today and every day. Show your team pride with custom athletic apparel, spirit wear, and personalized gear from Get Branded 360 downtown Lamar's. And be sure to like them on Facebook to keep up on exciting specials and new items.
At American Bank, community is at our core, and that starts with our schools. From classrooms to athletic fields, we're proud to support the students, teachers, and families who shape our communities. Because when schools succeed, communities thrive. At American Bank, we're committed to strengthening our communities, investing in education today to build a stronger tomorrow. American Bank, Lamar's and Remsen, achieving success together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
And we welcome you back to Remsen with 6:32 to go in this one. The Hawks have had their 8th different player score a touchdown here tonight. Jays Bunkers breaks off a 56-yard touchdown run, and the Hawks have a 69-0 lead on Arweva, ready to boot it away, and here comes the kick. It's sent up the right sideline, scooped up at the 17 by Quintanilla, breaks a tackle up the left numbers, 20, 25, stiff arms a defender, 30, and he is dragged down pretty close to midfield at about the 32-yard line. Good return for the Rockets. They'll have their best field position of the night with 6:15 to go in this one. And, again, their goal at this point, Justin, get some points and at least avoid the shutout.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, like you said, just small victories or whatever you can do to find here. And I think that would just kind of be a good little way to end the night for them anyways.
And at least put a positive spin on a night that has not been great for the Rockets. So 1st and 10 from the 32. Grant Wilkin once again in the gun. A couple of tight ends to the left side. He takes a helmet high snap, rolls left, now looks to pass right. It's covered up. Now he's scrambling to his right, chased down the sideline, and he throws it away and incomplete. That pass into the Arweva bench, unintended for a target, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Now, we get a little time here. I got to make sure to give a shout out to my 2 boys watching at home, ready to be out. They want to be out on this field too. Future, they will be.
Yes.
They're probably more excited that Dad's bringing popcorn home. I didn't finish all mine.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah. I can understand. My boy looks at me as just a food vessel as well. So,
Rowan and Baker, I got some popcorn coming.
There you go.
Get excited.
Daddy will be a welcome addition when he comes back home.
Absolutely.
There you go. 2nd and 10 here for Arweva at the 32. And it's great we've been able to steal Justin away for a Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely.
From the 32, here is the snap Wilkin gives. Musfeld trying to find his way through. He's got a nice gain up across the 35 near midfield. They'll spot him short of it at the 39. Gain of 7, and it's 3rd down and 3.
I don't want to jinx anything, but I think, what are we 3-0 as partners calling games now?
I think
Look
so.
at that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, we enjoyed a nice trip to the Unidome last year, 2 years ago.
I think if Coach Osterman hears that, though, he's going to be calling Clem to send you over here every week.
Hey, I would not be opposed. I would love to be at 3 or 4 places at once.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's kind of the tricky part of all of it.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do. Maybe we can figure out some kind of technology that hasn't been made available.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll be on to something.
Absolutely. 3rd and 2 from the 40. Here's Arweva once again moving something offensively and trying to find the end zone. This is a run around the right side. Option pitch. Nice pitch late. And this is a nice gain across the 35-30 down near the 25. That's Jack Musfeld. A very late option pitch goes for 15 yards and an Arweva 1st down.
I think that you said about one play before about highlight, and I think that little option play for them too. That's had some success with it there. And that one especially, what a great read.
Yes.
Tough play by a quarterback too to make that.
Well, and the pitch relationship, if you will, was not the cleanest, but they still were able to make something out of it and still find the target on that pitch, which can be very difficult when things get a little off kilter. So 1st and 10 here for Arweva at the Remsen St. Mary's 26. High snap. They tap it down to Musfeld. He's dragging Schrader across the line of scrimmage. They'll spot him behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard to the 27 will make it 2nd and 11.
Now there's that man again, Jackson Schrader. He's getting his name called quite a bit here tonight, and that's good.
Understandably so. Boy, that's a guy I'm going to have a lot of time to talk about with Coach Osterman. He is going to want to talk about his freshman tonight, and Jackson Schrader is certainly going to be one of the highlights, although there will be many to highlight. We'll have Coach Osterman on coming up tomorrow morning on the KLEM Coach's Corner. 2nd down and 11 from the Remsen St. Mary's 27. Play action fake. Wilkin deep drop. Airs it out right sideline. He's got a receiver open. Charlie Musfeld inside the 10, and he's dragged down near the 5, right at the 5-yard line. A 22-yard pass and catch. Arweva has 1st down and goal.
He had some misses tonight on passes, but that was a dime from a quarterback right there. And a guy that's kind of learning the position a little bit more. You said he had some spot fills last year, but that was a really good pass.
Beautiful ball, and that's got to feel nice for him after, like you said, a couple of close misses. Now with 2:15 to go, 69-0, Remsen St. Mary's leads. Arweva will have 1st and goal from the Remsen St. Mary's 5, maybe 4-yard line. After a 22-yard pitch and catch to Charlie Musfeld. Out of the shotgun, Grant Wilkin Couple of tight ends on either side. Motions one of them. Quintanilla fakes the give to him. Now tries to give to Jack Musfeld, and he is able to fall on the football at the 7. He loses 2. It'll be 2nd and goal.
What you don't want to see happen when you get down all the way down here, kind of lose a ball, a turnover or something that you just kind of mess up. But hopefully they can regroup here.
Well, and one of the things the Rockets might start doing is call timeouts, too, because now they're starting to run out of that running clock. A minute 30 to go. Again, not going to change anything from this game, but
small wins,
it's a small win. The Rockets want to have a score. They want to have something to look back and say, we did this well, and we'll see if they can get that done. 2nd and goal from the 7. Here's Grant Wilkin in the shotgun once again. From the 7-yard line, bell high snap. He gives up the middle, and that is Jack Musfeld fighting his way through some Hawk defenders. Falls forward to the 3. He's got a 4-yard carry. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Now another good run. Another good stop, getting a little bit of pressure on this Hawk defense here. They were able to stop them on 4 downs the last time. See what they can do this time.
And they're going to have 2 plays inside of a minute to go. I would have to imagine a timeout might come ahead of the 4th down play, but we'll see. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 3 as Arweva tries to avoid the dreaded season-opening shutout. From the Remsen St. Mary's 3, out of the gun, Wilkin. Now he moves Quintanilla to a back off his left hip. And tries to send a tight end in motion. They keep it with Wilkin straight ahead up the middle. He's across the goal line into the end zone for an Arweva touchdown. With 29 seconds left to go, Arweva is able to break through on the scoreboard with a 3-yard run from Grant Wilkin. And the Rockets will be shut out no more. It is 69-6, Remsen St. Mary's.
Yeah, like you said, that would be something good to kind of watch on film for them. And, in that second-team Hawk defense, if it's anything like it was in years past, you make sure those first-teamers make sure that we don't want to be giving that up in the film room. Ruin something good, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now that might tick off the starters a little bit, but of course, hard to be too upset with how things have gone. 2-point try for Arweva. Wilkin by himself in the gun. He motions a tight end left to right, fakes the give. Now Wilkin looking to throw around the left side. He throws across the middle to Jack Musfeld. 2-point try is good. Jack Musfeld converts the 2-point try, and with 29 seconds to play, it's 69-8 Remsen St. Mary's. We'll take one more break. Hawks will be able to run out the clock when we come back here on KLEM.
Floyd Valley Healthcare and Floyd Valley Clinics in Remsen, Lamars, and Marcus. Your community, your health, your life. Happy to support Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. When it comes to service, your Lamar's Hy-Vee is #1 for shopping both in-store and online. Save with the Fuel Saver Plus Perks Rewards program at Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
Remsen Farmers Co-op is proud to support Remsen St. Mary's Athletics. Just like on the field, hard work, teamwork, and dedication, all are values we believe in every day. Good luck this season from all of us at RFC.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
We're back to Remsen with 29 seconds to go in the game. It's all Hawks, 69-8. Remsen St. Mary's will enter week 1 with a 1-0 record when they host the Audubon Wheelers. So right now, there's not too many official rankings out right now, but some of the rankings I've seen have the Wheelers as the number 2 ranked team in Class 8 player. So that'll be a really tough matchup when the Wheelers come to town next week. And then, of course, the defending district champ in Class 8 player District 1 GTRA will be the homecoming matchup the week after on September 4th. And then that's it for home games this year here in Remsen, aside from a potential playoff. Kickoff is fielded on the bounce by Jaden Gallus, runs it up the left sideline, 25 to the 30. He's got a block, tries to cut it back over the middle of the field, and Gallus is dragged down at the 31-yard line. And so Remsen St. Mary should be able to run out the clock from there.
I don't know. Landon wants to keep this game going. He wasn't running that clock too well.
Landon Waldschmidt would love to see another play. They are going to line up for one, and so we'll see.
The best formation of football, right?
Yep, they'll get a knee down, and I think might just want to practice this for safekeeping anyway. Dalton Klein will line up, and he takes the knee, and that will put a bow on this one. Your final score from Remsen, it is Remsen St. Mary's 69, Arweva 8. And the Hawks, after a 3-5 disappointment last year, they opened 2026 in a big way. Not just 1-0, but 1-0 with an exclamation point on top as they win a ball game by 61 points, scoring 56 in the first half. We'll step aside. We'll have a little bit of a post-game show and recap our coverage when we come back to Remsen. You're listening to Remsen St. Mary's football here on KLEM.
At Bavarian Meadows Assisted Living in Remsen, we're living our best life and cheering on the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Bavarian Meadows, proud supporters of Hawk sports. Go Hawks!
With Westel Systems, you'll always have the perfect plan to fit your lifestyle. With various speeds and data usage, they offer the fastest plans for all your smartphones, tablets, and multiple streaming devices. Call the Remsen office today to find out which plan fits you best, because not everyone understands your internet needs the way Westel Systems does.
Remsen St. Mary's Athletics are in action, and Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance are proud to support St. Mary's all season long. From every play to every cheer, they're behind the team every step of the way. Career Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance, we have you covered. Great friends, good food, and good times await at the Triangle in Remsen. Proud supporters of Remsen St. Mary's Hawks Athletics. The Triangle, where Hawk pride runs deep. Mackin Insurance is a proud supporter of the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Mackin Insurance works hard for you, protecting what matters most with coverage you can count on. From home and auto to farm and business, trust the hometown team at Mackin Insurance. Orange Lawn Care does it all: mowing, spraying, landscaping, irrigation, even snow removal. Call Reggie at 540-4867, proudly supporting the Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. Go Hawks!
Get Branded 360 is proud to support our area athletes today and every day. Show your team pride with custom athletic apparel, spirit wear, and personalized gear from Get Branded 360 downtown Lamar's. And be sure to like them on Facebook to keep up on exciting specials and new items.
At American Bank, community is at our core, and that starts with our schools. From classrooms to athletic fields, we're proud to support the students, teachers, and families who shape our communities. Because when schools succeed, communities thrive. At American Bank, we're committed to strengthening our communities, investing in education today to build a stronger tomorrow. American Bank, Lamar's and Remsen, achieving success together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Floyd Valley Healthcare and Floyd Valley Clinics in Remsen, Lamar's, and Marcus. Your community, your health, your life. Happy to support Remsen St. Mary's Hawks. When it comes to service, your Lamar's Hy-Vee is number one for shopping both in-store and online. Save with the Fuel Saver Plus Perks Rewards program at Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
Remsen Farmers Co-op is proud to support Remsen St. Mary's Athletics. Just like on the field, hard work, teamwork, and dedication, all are values we believe in every day. Good luck this season from all of us at RFC.
You're listening to high school football on 1410 AM, 96.9 FM, KLEM.
And we welcome you back one final time into our post-game coverage this evening. Remsen St. Mary's, a dominant 69-8 win over Arweva after going 3-5 last year, having to forfeit a game and a half. The trip to St. Edmund, didn't finish the second half, couldn't make the contest with Kingsley. This is an outstanding way to start a new year, Justin, and it's got to feel really good with all that Hawk football team went through last year to have a positive spin to start the year.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think just like you said, positive. I mean, I think what more confidence builder knowing that, hey, we can go do this now, and you kind of on the other side of this all last year. This is only going to be good for you, and like I said, now it gets a little tough. Now you get but this is a good build-up game. Right. So, and like coaches, you'll take this, you'll run with it, you'll look at stuff. You'll try to find stuff that you need to clean up because there always is.
Yes,
you know, as coaches always find something. And then hopefully, you know, whatever happens next week, you come out and battle. And I think if you show, I think Hawk fans tonight got to see that we have a little physicality back to us, and we're not just being pushed around.
A little bit of a bite to it, you know. That's maybe something that was absent last year, but certainly something that'll be great to see. And it's a good point. Coach Osterman is one of the best coaches around.
Yeah.
And I know that even after a game like this, I'm going to call him up and chat with him for about 10 or 12 minutes. He'll spend 5 or 6 minutes talking about negatives after a 69-8 win. It's not that he's a negative guy.
No.
He's just that much of a perfectionist, and he demands that out of his players, too.
And you have to. I mean, this is good. This is great. You want to have this confidence and stuff, but you don't want to get that confidence too high where you're overlooking and thinking that, hey, we've accomplished it now. You know, and I think a good thing that Coach Osterman does and the Hawks do is that they're going to take it game by game. So, and I think this was good to see improvement. This was good to see that they're learning, that they're still growing, and now on to the next step.
I had 353 yards of total offense for the Hawks tonight, but I think the big thing that Coach Osterman will love to see is that 8 different guys who touched the football tonight scored at least 1 touchdown. 2 of them scored twice. It's got to be so nice for Coach Osterman to have this problem again. Last year it was find 8 healthy bodies to put on the field, and now he's going to have a fight to who he puts out on the field every play.
It's a problem that every coach wants right there. And to go on top of it, so you have those 8s that score, and probably the ones that won't get talked about, but it's that offensive line. And I think at one time I kind of joked with you that the only stat was going to be down was going to be the yards after contact, because there was a lot of times they were getting down the field before any contact was made. So that's good to see. Good to see those guys up front pushing around, so hopefully continue that.
Got to highlight the 8 players that did score tonight. Titan Waldschmidt got it going. Kinnick Moaning followed it up. Dalton Klein, a rushing touchdown. He, of course, completed the pass to Kinnick Moaning. Then Klein completed another pass to Bo Johnson. So Dalton's responsible for 3, but he only gets credit for scoring 1 of them, running it in. Then Dayton Knipe found the end zone late in the first quarter. Jaden Gallus scored. Hunter Klein scored twice in the second quarter, once defensively on a fumble return. Jaden Gallus scored again in the third quarter, and then Jays Bunkers capped it off. He was the 8th player tonight to score a touchdown for Remsen St. Mary's. Again, unofficially, 353 yards of offense. 283 of them came on the ground. And again, that number's impressive for an 11-man football team on a 100-yard field. But the Hawks lose 20 yards every game because it's an 80-yard field. So 283 yards, I think you could probably extrapolate that to about 350 yards in the 11-man game, which makes it more impressive.
And I don't know if coaches was the plan or with Coach Hayek, the offense coordinator, but I think you want to kind of establish an identity a little bit. Don't give me not. There will be games when Dalton Klein's throwing for a lot of yards, and we'll need him to.
Right.
But it wasn't tonight, and I think if there was anything that you wanted to set the tone is like show on the film for the opponents is, hey, we can push people around, we can kind of get some runs, and we can get some yards on the ground.
Well, again, we are going to be chatting with Tim Osterman as part of our season-opening KLEM Coaches Corner extravaganza. He'll be part of that, and we'll have a full recap of this game when we chat with Coach Osterman coming up tomorrow. We are not going to have a final score to tell you about on our airwaves of the other 8-player game. KP and Coon Rapids Bayard, they're still late in the third quarter of that one, so they got a ways to go in Kingsley. Panthers hold a 40-30 lead on Coon Rapids Bayard. That's a close game. That's a good game. Those two were playoff teams last year, so that's a good Week 0 contest. Looking forward to seeing if the Panthers could pull it out. We'll, of course, have Travis Newman on our Coaches Corner coming up tomorrow morning as well, along with all of the area football coaches. So look forward to that. That'll be a good precursor to the upcoming football season. And then next week on Friday, we head to Hinton. Good rivalry there. Galen Catholic at Hinton. And then, of course, Lamar's at Bishop Heelan Week 2, and then we are off and rolling from there. So
football's back, baby.
Football is back. It is the best time of year. No better place to be on a Friday night than at a football field in Northwest Iowa. We're happy to bring you along all throughout the season. Once again, do want to thank our sponsors for this Remsen St. Mary's Week 0 game, like Floyd Valley Healthcare, Hy-Vee, Remsen Farmers Co-op, Bavarian Meadows Senior Living, West Health Systems, Mackin Insurance, The Triangle here in Remsen, Arns Lawn Care, Creer Insurance and Feet Crop Insurance, Get Branded 360, and American Bank, our great sponsors that made this Hawk football coverage possible. Again, Remsen St. Mary's hosts a state semifinalist from last year. The Audubon Wheelers come to town next week, 7 o'clock kick, and then, of course, it's homecoming 2 weeks from tonight against GTRA. And then the Hawks are road warriors. They have 5 games in the final 6 weeks of the season. They are all on the road. So Hawk fans will be putting the mileage on their vehicles this season as well. So we'll see if the Hawks can contend in a very good district. Class 8-player District 1 will be very competitive once again. But once again, our final score tonight, Remsen St. Mary's 69, Arweva 6. And we greatly appreciate you for joining our broadcast here tonight. Again, thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to Nick Gangler, who ran our video stream this evening. And thanks to Justin Rudin for joining us as well.
We're 3-0,
man. 3-0. That's a great way to be. We're looking forward to more football, so stay tuned all throughout the season. Until then, for all of us at KLEM Radio and for KLEM Sports, I'm Daniel Versteg. You've been listening to Remsen St. Mary's season opening football right here on KLEM Lamar's. Good evening, everyone.
This is 1410 KLEM Lamar's and on